Hey, paisanos! It's the Superboy Special Super Show! Hello, Charkie. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, Mario. Am I even in any of these games?
Hello.
Well, we'll find out. We'll certainly find out if Luigi is present in the Superboy franchise.
What about me? Toad.
No.
I was waiting for it.
That's a flat no, as it turns out. No Toad. Sorry, nothing. Well, this is the show in which we play the Superboy series. This is the show in which we play a series of South Korean bootleg Super Mario Brothers games for your viewing pleasure. Our Schadenfreude, as the case may be. Let me ask you at the top of the show, what's your familiarity with the South Korean gaming scene in the mid to late 80s, early 90s?
Oh, mid to late 80s, early 90s? Oh, not so strong there. Which isn't that much of a joke. I played a lot of Korean MMOs back in the 2000s. But not really a strong scene in the 80s for me.
Was Guns Korean? K-style.
Guns the duel, butterfly. Yeah. So you're basically confessing not much on your part?
Yeah.
None.
Okay, I'm only slightly more informed on this subject, but it is a rich scene that has a lot of interesting history to it. We're going to get into a bit of it during a brief history section at the top of the show to sort of set up how these games came to be, who produced them, the studio Zemina, their origins, the Zemix console et al. But before we get to any of that, we have a segment at the top of the show that we do. Mario, he's a fan of his pasta, presumably. I know he likes eating mushrooms. He snacks on all sorts of stuff. But we have our own resident snack expert here. They go by the name of Charkie. Say hi to the people, Charkie.
Hello.
And say hi to Charkie's Stream Snack.
Tonight's stream snack is Alani Nu Cherry Slush. And for going with our Mario, with our Italian theme, we have Farm Rich New Italian Sausage Mozzarella Sticks. Mozzarella cheese and Italian sausage crumbles in an herb-seasoned coating. I have not seen anything new from Farm Rich in a while. They have something else that's new, but, I'll save that for if I get it in the future. But, yeah, these are mozzarella sticks with Italian sausage in it. I can't say I've ever had a mozzarella stick with meat already inside of it. But let's give this a taste. And while I do that, Cass, what have you brought?
Well, I went ahead and brought my Red Bull Iced Edition Iced Vanilla Berry to get me through the show. Got some water in the freezer that I'll have to step out and grab midway through. It's not frozen over yet. I love a cold water. We drink it from the tap with like the filtered tap, but this is never cold enough coming out the sink, so I've just gotten in the habit of freezing it and waiting for it to thaw. So that's where I'm at right now. Glad I could share that with folk.
All right. Next point in the segment. This is... Okay. Straight up, this is good. I like this. This would go so good with some marinara. Which, it doesn't come with, and unfortunately I don't have any. But I think some marinara on this would go, even better than I think normally the mozzarella sticks with sauce do. But I'm not getting much of a meat flavor out of this. There is the meat in there. In fact, I can see it in there. I can pick it apart if I want to. I'm not getting a real meaty flavor out of it, but I'm getting all of the spices, all of the seasoning flavor of the Italian sausage more than the meat, and that's very good. It just really tastes more like I don't want to say spiced up because that makes it sound like it's hot. Like a very seasoned mozzarella stick. It's honestly really good. It smells delicious too. If I had some marinara again, I think that would go absolutely perfect for this. These are nice. Johnny, what did you bring?
Yes, I have a matcha milkshake. It's something from the milk rounds we're messing with. It's good. And I do have some pasta. It's literally leftovers from dinner. There's pasta with bits of bacon and peas and some broccoli and cheese. Just good stuff in a bowl.
Peas and broccoli in your pasta? I mean, like, I guess like a broccoli, like a chicken Alfredo. Is it Alfredo? Is it tomato sauce? What are we talking here?
Yeah, Alfredo, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes way
sense.
more sense. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, sadly, no marinara sauce for anyone's snack today.
Edward asks, would you want a meaty flavor? Well, I mean, there's Italian sausage in it, so I'm going in expecting Italian sausage. And I guess it's not totally devoid of the flavor of meat, but it's more, it just tastes more like the seasoning of an Italian sausage than like a clear, like, kind of pork flavor coming through. But again, very good. Very much enjoying this.
I got some Italian sausage for you tonight, Boy Howdy. It's going to be a sausage fest across these Superboy games. I'll tell you that much for free.
No mighty Giana Sisters.
I wish. You'll be begging for the Giana Sisters to fly over from Germany and set Zemina straight here.
All right, well, I guess we better get to it then. So that'll do it for Charkie Stream Stack.
Oh, thank you kindly. And with that, we'll move on over to the main stage, pop up in front of it for our part, and talk a little bit about South Korea and their history with gaming. Now, you may recall that South Korea and Japan were maybe not the friendliest, maybe not on the best of terms for a long while, dating all the way back to, I think, like the 16th century, and especially, like, you know, with the turn of the 20th century and some of the events of World War II et al. And in the decades to follow, they were not necessarily on the best of terms. I think things have turned around for the most part in recent history. I think like the past couple decades or so have been, you know, at least a little kinder to one another. But since we're talking about the video game industry and how video games made their way into South Korea, we're going to go to like 1970s, like let's say like 1975. That's where you really start to see arcade games getting imported into South Korea. Now, these are not done in any official capacity. There is something of a gray market established in South Korea for importing games, for them falling off the backs of trucks and so forth, and landing in South Korean establishments as far as the arcade cabinets are concerned. And for a while, they were also like seen as very shady for a multitude of reasons. Number one being that there was this cultural idea that, you know, even though the arcade scene arguably got started in North America with the likes of like Pong machines and what Atari was doing, by like the later 70s, you know, it's starting to become the domain of Japan. They're really starting to have a lot of influence. Some of those successful games emanating from Japan in the arcades, and soon to follow with the console space. And because of that taut relationship between South Korea and Japan, and because they don't want to do any trade with each other officially, you have people who are bringing in consoles from overseas, doing, you have businesses who can do like private deals to get cabinets and what have you. What they'll often do is you'll have arcades in Korea at this point. And we say Korea, just assume we're talking about South Korea. North Korea has its own specific, very strange gaming scene, as you might expect. And that's going to be for some other show, I guess, some other history section.
What? Except for one specific game, I don't think I know of a single North Korean video game.
Is that game that you're thinking of Pyongyang Racer, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to do a North Korean gaming special at some point. But South Korea for now. If I say Korea, just assume I'm talking about South Korea here. And that I'm talking about their arcade scene at this point, where they would bring in cabinets from America and from Japan. And they wouldn't really be able to localize them. As far as people who were able to, you know, understand how the hardware worked, it was still a burgeoning industry, the software industry. So there weren't people who were really like doing hacks of these games necessarily. At most, you might have like a retitle in the game, but most of these games are coming in untranslated. In fact, the marquees on the arcade cabinets would often just be like, you know, the original art, and they would just put like post-it notes on them, or like print a piece of paper with a title written in Korean, written in I believe the dialect is Hyung, I don't know from Korea, unfortunately, but they would write the titles out in their language so that people could get an idea of what the game is. And these would be very loosely translated titles, nothing official. So you get Hangyel, by the way. It's HAN apostrophe GEUL is how we romanize the Korean script. So, for example, Street Fighter would be called Palm Wind, or Jingpong, which is the name of the Hadoken, or how they would transliterate it. Donkey Kong becomes King Kong, Bubble Bobble becomes Boggle Boggle, and Namco's Rally X becomes Fart Car.
Ooh.
Fart Car, or
You know what? I see it, though.
Banggucha.
I understand
Yes.
why.
So, by the way, I forgot to mention, most of this history, most of what I've learned about South Korean history comes from this article by Sam Dearbu, A History of Korean Gaming, an article they wrote for Hardcore Gaming 101. It's actually very exhaustive. Formatting's broken because it's from the old site before they did the reformatting, so, enjoy your plain text on white backgrounds for this, but there is some fascinating insights into the scene here, and I'm cribbing a lot of details from that, including the fart car anecdote. But
You like that Tracy Chapman song? You got a fart car? I want to
Shut
take it
up.
anywhere.
So that's the arcade. That's the beginnings. And, I was mentioning that, arcade cabinets at a moment in time were treated the same way that we treated pinball machines over here in, like, the 40s and 50s, where we're seen as a delinquent's pursuit, a delinquent's game. There were, like, a handful of quote-unquote government-approved arcade establishments. In 1980, there were exactly 43 of them, but there were estimated to be thousands of machines, cabinets, and arcades running in South Korea in the period of the late 70s, early 80s. It would be some years before South Korea's government turned around and started to legalize it, started to, allow these things to exist without, like, being necessarily shady, without them, being at risk. Let's stop demonizing them to some extent. But that doesn't mean that there was any official trade going on between Japan or North America or South Korea as far as these games were concerned, as far as imports were concerned. It just meant that the Korean government basically said, yeah, you can keep doing this shady business. You can keep, like, gray marketing this stuff. You can keep importing stuff, whatever means you have of doing that, and we'll let you operate these establishments. And as we get into the console space, as we get into the business of developing home consoles, there is a push initially to have, like, original consoles. I believe Samsung and Daewoo are two of the biggest electronics manufacturers out of Korea at this point. I think that Daewoo was probably the first to get into space. They had, like, some Pong consoles, some early Pong consoles in the late 70s, but these weren't as successful. People were more content to go to the arcades. Where South Korean home console space really begins to pick up is with a later Daewoo console by the name of the Zemix. This is a model of CPC 50. This is a MSX computer. Effectively, this is a clone of the MSX standard with the keyboard removed, established just as a games console here. And so this is one of the first consoles to really blow up in South Korea, with a library of some original games coming from first-party developers in contract with Zemix, but mostly pirated bootleg games from Japan that were written for the MSX computer and were able to be ported over to this because they effectively ran on the same guts. So any cartridge games that came out there, they could clone those cartridges, they could manufacture those cartridges, and plug them in here, and you'd have access to these games. And this is where, programmers really start to earn their pay, because, they'll have to hack out any keyboard necessity, like any necessary functions of the keyboard, because this console, again, just didn't have that. And what they also do for all these games that they're importing and reprinting, they're also inserting their own logos into the games. So you'll have, like, a typical MSX game might have, like, a heads-up display where you have, like, your health and stuff at the bottom, and you'll have, like, the name of the game. And what they do is they replace the name of the game that's ever present with the name of the company. So you'll be playing, like, some action RPG, and you see the word Zemina for the developer Zemina just all over the game. And so there were a lot of companies doing this. We keep mentioning Zemina. They'll become, we'll get more into them. But Zemina started off as a computer store chain. So when they were selling these games, that would be their mark of, like, hey, it's, it's our game that we're producing and selling to you, to the consumer, direct through us. The Zemix name on this console has nothing to do with Zemina, by the way. That's just a happy accident or some coincidental naming schema, because I believe Zemina means have fun in South Korean. So Zemix is probably some take on like fun console, fun something or other. I don't necessarily have the translation on that. But this is around 1985, I should mention. 1984, 1985. There's not a hard and fast date on when these consoles started coming out. I've seen differing reports between the Hardcore Gaming 101 articles and just doing general research on it. There's also speculation that this console only really lasted until like the late 80s, but then I've seen sources that say it lasted until 1995. So, as much as we're going to try to get into this, as much as I want to convey these details, a lot of this history is imperfectly written, at least as far as like English language sources go. That Hardcore Gaming 101 article is great, but there's still a lot to be desired as far as documentation. So, take some of these details with a grain of salt. But yeah, you had chains and computer store chains as well as developers, emanating from these chains, likes of Zemina, ProSoft, Clover, Topia, Screen Software. I believe Unica or Unico gets established in and around this time, in and around this scene. They go on to produce some of the most infamous Korean games ever, the likes of the Master's Fury and the Master is Fighter, the absolute worst fighting game for the PlayStation. So a lot of these companies get their start in or around this time. And, they're able to get away with this thing. They're able to get away with the practice of just like slapping their names into these existing games, or just hacking games and reselling them, because there's no copyright law on software in Korea at this point in time, in the mid 1980s up until like 1987. In fact, it's July 1st, 1987, that a law protecting copyright ownership of computer programs came into effect for the first time in Korea, mostly as a result of them caving to pressure from the United States. Who had more influence on them, who South Korea was more keen to listen to than, let's say, Japan or what have you. And, obviously, the relationship between Japan and the United States, and also concurrently the relationship between the United States and South Korea. It's a whole fascinating subject. We can't get too deep into the political weeds here, but look it up on your own time if you want to learn some history, if you want to learn some fascinating history of colonialism and so on and so forth. Anyhow, this means that software has to sort of clean up its act, that you can't just steal games outright and slap your logo on them. And there's also like sort of a push from some like elements of the programming scene as well, that this is probably a move for the best, in that we should be focusing on learning code, that we should, as a faction of the industry, as a sector of industry, with potentially like, billions on the line here, that we need to learn to actually do programming for ourselves beyond just like simple hacks. I have a quote here from a magazine called Computer Study. This is quoted in the Hardcore Gaming 101 article that basically sums up the state of the market when this copyright law goes into effect. When going out into the market and paying close attention to which country's games students are playing, it's predominantly American and Japanese games. The only Korean software are a few works selected from competition for the Korean-produced SPC 1000. What these students may be thinking as they play these games made in Japan and the US? What may they be thinking? Won't they resent having been born in the Republic of Korea? Who can say that they won't grow up dreaming of becoming samurai, like the people who grew up in the colonial era longed for Kikkoman soy sauce? So not only is there a fear of just like Korean programmers, like not having like an in because there's no one who's actually knowledgeable about it, there's also the fear of Japanese cultural influence. The fact that all these Japanese games are the ones that are primarily, especially because, like America wasn't producing for the MSX. So all these MSX imports you're getting for the Zemix console and whatnot are straight from Japan, and a lot of them have Japanese theming. So there is a fear that, it's sort of like an indoctrination thing, right? So there has to be a move. At some point, something had to give. It just happens to be the point in time. And so studios like Zemina and the rest have to change their business model slightly. here is actually, speaking of Zemina, we'll get into them now. This is their New Year's celebration flyer or of some sort. You can see 4 of their executives or 4 of their staff members on the front here. Wonderful gradients in this image as well. As mentioned before, Zemina started as a computer store chain. They were established in and around 1981. Then when the Zemix came out, they started pivoting to, again, importing games, hacking them, putting their logo on them, and shipping those out. When that, again, event happens in 1987, they start to develop their own quote-unquote original games, by which I mean they are still copying games, but building them from the ground up for the MSX. They are, let's say, take a Super Mario Bros., for example, just an example I'm pulling out of thin air. We can't copy, the game code necessarily, not that it would necessarily work, copying NES game code onto the MSX, but that's a whole other aspect. But what we can do is recreate it. What we can do is recreate the sprites, recreate, the gameplay, approximate it as best as we can, and release our own version of that. And that would avoid copyright law, because copyright was on the code specifically. The way the copyright law was written is that it protected written code, program code, but not necessarily intellectual property, not necessarily character IP and whatnot. And, to err on the side of caution, you wouldn't call a Super Mario Bros. Clone Super Mario Bros. You'd call it something like, I don't know, Superboy, for example. We'll get into that in just a bit. Actually, I mentioned the NES. I mentioned Famicom, as it would be better known. They actually did, Zemina at a point in time, because they had roots in hardware manufacture and sales, they actually did develop an add-on for the MSX and for MSX compatibles, which I assume would have included the Zemix, that let you plug in Famicom cartridges into it and play them on your MSX system. I think it was called the Family Card, if not mistaken, which is fascinating. That's an interesting way to, rather than just producing a whole new clone console, so many people were bought into that MSX ecosystem. And because they were so familiar with that programming language, with that version of BASIC or what have you, that it made more sense to develop a peripheral rather than try to sell folk on a whole new console to play their imported Famicom cartridges at this point. And Zemina are a major force in the software scene at this point because they had been responsible for so many imported games during that gray market period, during that Wild West period of just slapping their logo on everything, that eventually they have enough capital that they start making deals officially with Japanese companies later on, Konami's Nemesis. Or Salamander, or is that Gradius too? What's the name of that Konami shmup franchise? I know it is Nemesis.
There's several.
I don't know what names that might go in by different regions, but basically they made a deal with Konami officially through official channels to release to manufacture cartridges for the South Korean market for them. Life Force is the name I was looking for. Thank you.
It's 2 things. Since we have a lull here, one is that the add-on thing that you said they have for the MSX, is that would that be analogous to what Codemaster was trying to do with the Aladdin Decatancer for the NES? Make their own
no,
because
that console thing. This would be different.
The Super Game Boy.
Yeah, I think more like a Super
Game Boy.
Well,
Super Game Boy was official though.
Yeah, but the difference is with the Codemasters thing is that it didn't actually do anything different. It was just getting around Nintendo's official production.
No, that's not
stuff.
true either. It had more mapper chips and stuff. Games that ran on that peripheral were slightly more advanced. You're looking at the Dizzy's
Fair
games or whatever for that Codemasters was putting out. They were slightly enhanced, but not necessarily it wasn't a jump between console generations.
Yeah, because I heard they had just NES cart releases of those as well.
Yes, also later down the line.
Yeah.
But again,
I didn't know if they were analogous between the 2 scenes there. The second thing I wanted to mention is that photo of them makes them look like they performed in Branson, Missouri.
So there's some interesting snippets from interviews conducted with members of the Zemina team. There's a MyCom magazine that's published in August 1990 issue where one Kim Yul-suk, who's the head of their development section, is interviewed by the magazine, and he has a quote here that reads, "The ideas are the most important aspect during game development, and at the same time, the aspect causing the most headaches. I tend to get ideas from other games, and in a team of 2, the development takes about 3 months, with costs amounting to about 3 to 4 million won, which would be between like $4,000 USD and like $5,000 USD in and around this time. So they're basically giving away the game here that, they're not so subtly inferring that, like, yeah, we're just copying other games and we do it relatively cheap. $4,000, $5,000 development budgets, the equivalent there of turnaround time of 3 months. That's pretty efficient. That's a pretty efficient turnaround time for that sort of stuff. And they probably made their money back and then some, because they had the ability to, also distribute their games because of their tie-ins to the not just manufacture and programming, but they also owned like retail spaces. So they could really like prominently like sell their own wares in that way. They would be like your one-stop shop effectively. And so what you get to here, and what I believe the Hardcore Gaming 101 article with Sam Dearbu goes on to speculate, is that from that statement, it becomes clear that he may have been a decent programmer, but not much of a game designer. And this sort of becomes the recurring issue through Zemina's catalog, is that while these games may well be inspired, they have some amount of original products. Not to say that everything they're putting out is like wholesale ripoff or recreation, but some of them are more ambitious than others. Some of them should be more theoretically straightforward. All of them relatively janky. All of them have their bugbears. All of them are kind of lesser than, especially in the case of the ripoff games, like a Superboy, for example. You compare it directly to the original product, to the thing that they were inspired by, and they're really not doing much to iterate on it. In fact, they are struggling to match it. And it's not just because the MSX hardware was inferior to the NES or what have you. It's more to do with just, I think there is a degree of programming literacy, of competency, that this being so early in the scene and these figures not having necessarily came up in the way that you would expect a developer at this time to come up, not having an established official industry in South Korea for game design at this time in development, is that they are sort of learning on the job. And not to mention, the turnaround times and the budgets here as well are definitely going to be mitigating factors in how good these games are going to come out. And so that's kind of where we are heading into these games with. It's kind of as we get into the Superboy games where we're kind of going to be we're going to start. There's 5 games tonight. Let me say that. Let me say that there's 5 games tonight that comprise the Superboy series. Really, there's 4. And then there's the first one is more of a, we'll get into it in just a second. There's one more quote I wanted to read too, by the way. That this was from some sort of a message board, I believe, or taken from some magazine. I don't have the exact source on this, but it is quoted in the Hardcore Gaming 101 article, where the overall sentiment at the time in South Korea, as far as their game development was concerned, was described as this: they're Japanese games anyway, so it's patriotic to copy them even more and distribute them cheaply, isn't it? So let that set the tone for how they felt about, Japan and how the relations between these countries were and how sort of shameless they were, how, in a sort of an effect to, go against the government line that, these games might be a corrupting influence, that, Japanese culture may be seeping into Korean culture. The developers here and consumers were sort of seeing it as like a fuck you to Japan. In a way, they saw this as, yeah, we're screwing them over and we feel pretty good about it. This is our way of this is a tiny way of getting back at them by stealing their shit, flipping it, copying it and whatnot, which is a very interesting headspace to see. It's not spite. It is not often a major motivating force in this sort of way, at least in the early games industry. But, that's what happens when you have 2 countries that don't like each other so much at a moment in time, and just the technological revolution happening means that, well, we're going to find a way to get games here, even if that means we're doing it on the sly. So, bearing all that in mind, we're getting into our first game of the night. And I'm sorry if that was a little loose. I'm sorry that was a little loosey-goosey as far as history sections are concerned. We'll do a tighter one. If we get into other developers from South Korea, emanating from South Korea, Especially if we do something from like the aforementioned Unico, I can really start to get into. I can really start to dig deeper into some of the aspects of that market reality of the time. But for now, I just wanted to set the stage for how these games came to be, how they were allowed to exist in the market, and who was responsible for them in Zemina. And so we go to our first game, which is a 1987 release. This is the cartridge art for one Brother Adventure. This is a clone of Mario
Oh, I know
Bros.
that game.
What?
That's that game where you play one brother with the left thumbstick and one brother with the right thumbstick.
No, that would be, I can't think of 10 games better than that, but it's an old Giant Bomb reference for folks. No, so this is, before we got to Superboy, this would have been them attempting to clone the original arcade Mario Bros. In and around 1987. This would have come out, again, for the Zemix. This would have been compatible in your MSX, and also in some capacity, what should also be mentioned is that later down the line, this code here, MSX code would run effectively on the Sega SG-1000 if there was such a way to plug a cartridge, an MSX cartridge, into an SG-1000, would also be compatible with the Sega Master System, or clone derivatives thereof, because the Master System had a backwards compatibility mode for the SG-1000. And also, just two other consoles that happen to have like a similar architecture include the ColecoVision, would also have a similar underlying code base. So there is some like compatibility between like all these different systems. You get an MSX emulator for your part. If you happen to ever like have one on hand, you'll notice that a lot of them have compatibility for all of these different consoles, and all the clone consoles included within that, which is the beauty of that original BASIC that it was all operant under. But enough about that. Let's play some damn Mario Bros. I like arcade Mario Bros. It's one of my favorite of the arcade games from a particular era of arcade gaming. So I'll play this. Why not, right?
I also want to quickly shout out. It came to me, but I'm going to give credit to the first time shout. Conduit 384 for mentioning it, that the Famicard add-on reminds them of the Intellivision add-on that let you play Atari 2600 games. So that would probably be the closest comparison, and still wild that that even happened.
Oh, that's
70s.
definitely a sprite from
Mario Golf, or just golf.
Mario Golf. Yeah,
Yeah.
the open tournament, whatever.
What's this song from? The song is from something too. It's from a different game. And as we start the game, well, it's starting.
Oh, right, the phase
the
6
demo. Yeah, that's the demo that ran. Let this run a little bit again, because it's the jingle that comes up here. What is that from?
Oh,
Oh,
that's Baby Elephant Walk. That's just a song.
Well,
yeah, but it's used in you've heard this recently, Cass. It was used in Cat Mario
thank you.
because it sounds a lot like the Spelunker theme. Like they're very similar melodies.
That's Dig Dug.
That's just Dig Dug.
Yeah.
And here's that brother.
Oh,
got
I like this
different
design
hats.
though.
You
Yeah.
look like a red mage, kind of.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, collecting dollars.
So it's like Mario Bros, but there is a weird quirk of this.
Slippery.
When you knock an enemy, they go up 2 platforms. That's their authorial stamp on this, is that they fundamentally fuck with the physics of knocking enemies from underneath.
So, is this all ice level? Because it looked real slippery.
No, this is, you stop on a dime.
Okay.
It just does not control very well. Believe it or not, this does not control as smoothly as Nintendo's own Mario Bros. In the arcade or NES or at all. My favorite version of Mario Bros., by the way, is Kaiteka Mario Bros. For the Famicom NES. It's a version of Mario Bros. It's a pretty feature-complete version of Mario Bros. But it has ads for a ramen shop that just play intermittently throughout the game. But it's also
full
like
on FMVs. Shot run of the cart.
test your
That's
skill.
a fun jingle.
So remember, this would have been programmed from the ground up. There was no pre-existing code that they were stealing for this one. Long the doo-dah-day.
Boy. They nailed the PAL graphic though.
Titan.
That's his name. Don't wear it out. This would have a two-player mode. I just didn't know how to convolute that for our purposes tonight.
So I was going to ask you, I feel like I've asked this question before, but when you play two-player Mario Brothers, do you treat it as a competitive game or cooperative game?
I treat everything in my life as competitive, Charkie. You know this.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I play cooperatively as far as, like, you know, we're working towards the same end, but, you know, it's also a score challenge to me.
I mean, I play it purely cooperatively. As long as we can get past the stages, I'm happy. I don't care if my score is higher. I just want us both to win. Us being whoever I'm playing with. I guess that's part of it is, if you play it super competitively, then to a certain degree you're trying to sabotage the other person who's playing.
Oh, shit. I forgot they would bounce off the coin. Oh, I died, by the way. I ran into the fireball. Want to see something cool?
Oh.
I almost had it to where I died again, where I died twice in a row. I was trying to time it specifically so that I fall into the fireball when I spawn and just keep falling through the screen, basically.
Sounds like a trick shot.
As I mentioned, slightly janky, this. Does not have that Nintendo seal of quality, so to speak. And no, you don't need to tell me that the seal of quality is bullshit. I know. I'm making a joke, folks. To all the nerds in the audience who tune in for us doing history sections at the top of the episodes, I guess. But, you know, this is not terrible. This is fine.
Perfunctory.
It does fuck me up that, you know, you're bouncing them onto higher platforms. I don't love that for it. I would still take this over a Punchball Mario Bros. That Hudson Soft put out. That's where they replaced the jumping underneath the platforms with tossing a dodgeball at enemies in their PC-88 and Sharp X1 versions of Mario Bros. That were officially licensed through Nintendo. We're going to mention those Hudson Soft Mario games for the PC-88 and Sharp X1 pretty frequently tonight. They are another point of comparison to make against these versions of Super Mario Bros. Or Brother Adventure, as the case here is.
Thank you for the gift sub.
Thank you kindly. I just wanted to show a little bit of that one. This is, you know, their first attempt. This is Zemina's first attempt at emulating a Mario, at, you know, sort of trying to recreate that experience from the ground up. But we're here for something a bit more substantive, I think. I think folk are looking forward to clones of Super Mario Bros. Proper. So why don't we get into that with the first installment in the Superboy series. This would have released in 1989. The cover may have looked something like this. This is Superboy 1, developed and published by Zemina. Okay, so covers for this stuff. How official this is, because this is just straight up like wholesale Mario art here, as you may have gathered. Who's to say the box actually looked like this? This is the image you'll see go around. If you notice the one at the end of the title there, at the end of the Superboy, it is like aliased in such a way that it was clearly like photoshopped in. So I feel like there is some issues here. I mean, I've seen the back of this box as well. I've seen, you know, scans with like screenshots and stuff on the back that would make this look like as if it were how the game would have been shipped and sold at retail. But I have my doubts. If anything, you know, this may have been for the later Master System, or there's a name for the Master System in the clone console version of it that Samsung put out. The GAM Boy, the GAM asterisk boy, where they were effectively cloning the Master System, and that's where a lot of these games that we're playing now and their MSX varieties would later get converted to the Master System compatible because of that code base being so similar, because of the SG-1000 backend on the Master System, so on and so forth. So the impression I get is that those boxes would have potentially been for the Master System version of this game or the Game Boy version of this game specifically, rather than the original MSX packaging. But again, this is so underdocumented for what it is, for as big a company as Zemina was at the time, and they were a force in the South Korean market, and for as, you know, fascinating as these games are, this subset of games, we're like in basically uncharted territory here. So it's all guesswork and speculation, but I'm not going to leave you guessing any longer as what this game looks like, because we're going to boot it up and play it. Why don't we?
Two things. One, thanks to whoever just subscribed, even though you didn't leave a thing. That's fine. Thank you for the subscription. I could tell that went through. And two, you ever see those Dendy Mario bootlegs where it has like the box art like that, but they just take Mario out of it? Like, yeah, that'll do it. That'll throw them off our trail.
It's a wonderful world of Hawken bootleg software. If you let it hang for like a second, it goes into demo mode. I need to level the audio real quick, so let me take care of that business real quick, like. We gotta hear this music. We gotta hear Mario like we've never heard him before. We're getting there. Hey, Mom, turn it up.
The Mario theme was good before. I added more notes to it.
Okay, there we go. I'll restart that too. And who wants to play this one? Who wants to start with this one?
I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get your impressions on this. I'll tell you that the cross button on your controller, or the equivalent thereof, should start the game. There is a run button as well. That should be square, or the equivalent thereof.
Yep.
Ooh, not a smooth scroller.
No, that would is.
Well, this is an MSX game. Yeah.
This is still better than Super Mario Bros. Special, where it was flip screen, where that's not the right word for it. Where as you got to the edge of the screen, it would just like go to the next screen. It would just hard cut.
It's like Mega Man levels, old Mega Man levels.
So you probably won't find the 1-up, the hidden 1-up box over there. These games would have been programmed from sight. Would have been recreated from like observation. These would have been like their closest approximations based on them playing Super Mario Bros. In whatever capacity they could and doing their best without any of the code or the assets to recreate them, is the fascinating thing. So what you're getting is sort of like a remembrance of Super Mario Bros. And anything they didn't know about, like, you know, they didn't know about warp zones, for example. So those just don't exist in this game, in this version of the game.
Like those people who like make Doom WAS as just recreating Doom from memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll also tell you, and this is fascinating, each of these boxes, random contents.
Ooh,
Whether it's a coin, a mushroom, or a fire flower, is random.
that's a gotcha game, I can see.
Now, I want you to do a running jump, get the top of this flagpole, Johnny. I believe in you.
You get over the flagpole? Yes! Yes!
Hey.
Alright, what happens if you... Okay.
Yes, you can actually
yourself
finish the
out.
level still, which is good.
Hey, I like you just hurries the fuck up though. Just
And we are underground. Hopefully one of these has a fire flower.
When does it... when
they
does it
almost
set
got the underground theme right. They almost did.
It's close.
When does it set, like, the siege for randomization for that? Is it on hit, or is it on, like, system start?
It's going to pull a
Because if
value
you were
from
to-
RAM. It's going to pull a value from just, like, a random, like, spot in the code that is, like, currently running.
I could see it. A lot of games this era, it would be just the frame you did an action on.
You want to go underneath here? You can go through the blocks at the top. You just can't get to warp zone. I'll tell you that much for free.
I want some coins.
See, I was wondering in theory if you had rewinded if there was a chance that there would have been a fire flower in one of those.
It is entirely possible. There is that element to it where it is like fully random. I think there's like probably like a probability thing in some effect, because I've seen people who speculate there's no fire flower in this game, and it's like, no, there is. I've played this through. This is 4 worlds with 4 stages each. There are 16 stages to this game. We can play through this entire game tonight.
Half the worlds and twice as many notes in the song.
Hey, a double.
Conduit points out you can't kick the turtle shells, can't kick the Koopa shells. No, you cannot.
Oh! What?
I
so,
wonder
so
if you could have gotten to the minus world.
No.
Oh!
Yep.
And I was trying to go for the top there as well. Oh, okay. It's kind of fun, 'cause, yeah, it feels weird, but it does some things that I kind of prefer. Like, you don't skid, you just... I'm gonna stop for a second.
I think the skidding is essential to the ebb and flow and momentum of Mario Bros.
I don't know, I fuck with it a bit. This, like, it doesn't feel good. But you have a decent amount of air control, like more than I would suspect. Like, look at that. I was able to...
You can go back and forth, and then back again if you have enough airspace.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just use error.
And we're gonna play this where it lies for now. If we need to finish it, I'll take over and just cheat egregiously so we can get to the ending. But I do want you to experience this at the very least.
I feel like I should get a little bit of a try.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I will absolutely. In fact, we should probably do it where you trade on lives. So, Charkie, why don't you take over?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes what you're... Wait, that's not how that works.
You know what?
That's not how that works.
Yeah.
though.
No. Let's. I'm
gonna let you continue that one, yeah.
You can jump on enemies in midair, and you can bounce off of them. Sometimes you can even double jump off of them because of quirk of the program here, but it's inconsistent. This is everything in this game.
Oh. Yeah, sometimes Johnny, your turn. Sometimes it just kind of lags out a bit. Like, I guess if too many things are happening, because it definitely started stuttering there. Not like in a internet lag kind of stutter. I mean, like, obviously the game was like struggling.
Yeah, the CPU processing so many threads at once or what have you.
You didn't even get close to that one.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take over here.
Yeah.
Let me get you through the stage.
This
This is clearly a
Okay.
tough stage for the two of you. I'll go ahead and get us to the next one. Being the super... Fuck!
Yeah, okay, my turn.
Being the
I was waiting
Superboy
for it.
expert that I am, I was going to say. Ooh, yeah, no, you can hear it in the music, and you can see
Yeah.
it slow down a bit there. There's just certain threads that...
That's what I was saying earlier, that depending on what you're doing, you can hear the music changing. Ooh. That's what killed me right there. was-
Yeah.
Let's go.
And it's good now. We're all good. Yeah, jumping on enemies is a imperfect science in this, just generally speaking. No hidden
Nope.
blocks, no like hidden...
No coins in blocks, yeah.
Every time there's a really high jump, I feel like there's a chance that you will never be able to get up there. Like, they didn't make the jump high enough to work.
Nice.
All right, who wants to try Bowser's
Alright,
Castle
now it's
here?
my turn. Well, come on.
Rightly so.
No, give me a shot.
Yeah,
I'm giving you a shot, but I just don't want to waste any more lives here.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
God, the underworld theme being just like slightly off. It's weird. It's like someone's fucking with your memories.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll give him a little bit of a pass. Mario
Aw,
1,
damn it.
Super Mario
This-
1 music is kind of ambitious for like how primitive music composition these were at the time. Like the main theme is in like
Huh?
Johnny,
waltz
take over.
timing. Yep.
This feels so fucked to play.
Yeah, no, it's not good. I don't blame either of you for
Hey.
struggling with this. It's not good.
What? What?
I feel like this is definitely a case, and I see why. I see why you had us play it.
Okay,
That
well, go all the way
you
back
need to
here.
play this for yourself to understand what's happening here. Folks at home, if you can, I would encourage you to also play this for
let me
yourself
try
rather
something.
than just see us.
Let me give this a go too. There's something I want to try here. Sometimes
It's surprisingly
it
easy
worked.
to slip off. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can see the hitboxes here are a little fucked. Sometimes you can land in such a way while falling that you land on top of the lava and can just jump back onto the platform. In the GIF that we used to promote tonight's show, I did that. Yeah, this is legitimately tough because the jumps just don't work the way you expect it to. Like, the problem here is that so many years of muscle memory of playing, like, Super Mario Bros. And also, the fact that this fireball
didn't even
bounces...
go-
Yeah, it doesn't go all the way down. Look at that shit. Because they couldn't do the swinging fireball rods, right? The ones that you're...
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. Don't want them.
This
Yeah,
is
this is worse. This is worse, though.
this is actually
Yeah,
very
true.
tough. And so
Also, I don't think that fireball is updating horizontally at the same rate as the platforms are.
there's
like,
definitely
I
some
think-
element of background tiles scrolling in a different pace.
Yeah.
Hey, check
Oh,
this
here
out.
we go.
It's Bowser.
It is, yeah.
He doesn't
He
have
killed
any fireballs in this version of the game. You can go underneath the
Let's see, yeah.
bridge.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
You
Very
go down
cat-like
here, though, you're
behavior
kind of
there.
fucked. Yeah. Yeah, no. So you just have
You
to
know, my
basically
dog does
one
this
shot it.
if My dog does this if I take one of her squeaky toys and
Would
hold it
they
behind my
would
back.
they have been eyeballing to do the sprites as well?
Yes. No, absolutely,
Okay.
unequivocally, yeah.
Because some of them they do get really close.
Wait.
Yeah.
There we go. There's your toad.
All right.
Yeah, so they don't even draw in a toad. They don't even attempt to recreate that. They're just like, no, nothing here. Which is very funny.
Good work. Dino Gem awarded.
I would love if we could power up enough to get a fire flower at some point again.
That would be nice. Oh,
Hey, you know,
we
you
have a
have
bunch of
10 chances here. So I mentioned Super Mario Brothers Special by way of Hudson Soft. And, you know, that game is bad. It is a bad version of Mario. It at least tries to incorporate some new features as far as like bringing back Mario Bros. Enemies and power-ups. You get to use the hammer in that game and face some of the arcade Mario Bros. Enemies. But, you know, as far as like game feel is concerned, it's awful. As far as the lack of scrolling is concerned, it really fucks you up. Really ruins the momentum of that game. Still, 1,000,000 times more playable than this is. Even though this has, like, the benefit of, like, smoother scrolling, you know, comparatively, this is, like, you know, like butter, the way this scrolls. But it just fundamentally misunderstands the physics and the fundamental game rules in such a way as to be just thoroughly, highly unpleasant to play.
I'm gonna assume there's no going down pipes at all.
No, there is not.
Oh. I was trying to save myself so hard there.
Again, there's something I do like about just the ridiculous amount of air control you have. Like,
All right, Johnny, take it.
yep.
It's fascinating.
so-
'cause it's a case of they didn't know any better than to if they known to limit your air control, they would have.
Ah,
Oh, is
I
this
go
a water
about it.
level?
This
Is
is a
their
water
take on
level.
water level?
Yep. Yeah, this is gonna be
okay.
tough because it's basically
Yeah,
they
yeah.
couldn't do the swimming, so what they did instead was just had a bunch of floating platforms and enemies coming from the bottom of the screen.
Hey,
Ah,
that's
you know,
basically
maybe
what swimming
running.
is.
Maybe
All right,
running is
Charkie,
my
you give it
issue.
a go.
One more. No, I want one more. One more.
All right, Johnny gets one more.
Okay, no, you do have to
Alright.
run.
Wait, maybe this is a fire flower now.
No such luck. Salem Tenebre asks, so is this better or worse
damn
than
it.
Super Mario Bros. Special? We just answered that. We just explained that. This is worse.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
so close. Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad place to. Ooh, got a lot of air on that one.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of
Did you do
funny,
your double
though.
jumps? Do you notice your double jumps you're getting?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you jump
A
on top of them, it
little.
resets your jump code. So you can, on the way up.
Well, I tried
still-
it there and it didn't work, but
It doesn't work when you expect it to, but does sometimes work when you least expect it to.
Yep, there it was. Yeah, I heard that one.
oh,
Like, it's not good, but there is just something funny about seeing a version of Mario 1
I
where
need,
you
what I
can
need
do
to do.
these
Oh fuck.
intricate, like, enemy bouncing jumps.
Whatever.
Let me take this
Johnny.
one.
Oh, okay, Cass.
Because this level is fucking ridiculous. As you may be able to gather here, the density of enemies on screen from this point forward is unconscionable.
You know, there was almost something fun about that last level and doing those enemy jumps. Especially with, like, the weird double jump thing that you were able to get off.
It's very Super Mario Bros. 2, by which I mean the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2, Lost Levels as nerds will call it. Yeah, where you really have to, like, rely on jumping on top of enemies and doing, like, trick jumps in order to... Well, that's just an unwinnable situation there. If I
I'm
stand...
think
sorry,
just run
Lost
under-
Levels,
yeah.
as nerds would call it, which is to say the people in America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super Mario
dweebs,
Bros.
all of
2,
them.
the people who would know what the Japanese difference is.
How dare you call me out on my... By the way,
'Cause you know, in America, Super Mario Bros. 2 was actually...
you can't run across the gaps in between platforms in this game, by the way. That's another
I wouldn't think so.
thing they forgot to do. Oh, good God. Again, the hitboxes are
Oh.
unparsable.
You slipped through a really small gap between two enemies there, though.
Yeah,
so
it's
maybe
called,
they
Yeah.
it's
inconsistent
called
as
being
well.
incredibly skilled and also egregiously cheating.
Johnny Day.
Yep.
I'm preparing a drink.
It really is so close to being the right song, and yet so far.
That's a real tight one.
Better be grateful you have so much air control because you can leave every... Oh.
Yeah, you got
I'm setting up
very
the failure.
little to no
Yeah, yeah.
room for error.
Oh, oh.
I'll also let you know,
Oh no! Oh no!
we're not losing anything by not being able to bring Fire Flower Mario to the stages to fight Bowser because you can't kill him with fireballs.
Oh, that. Okay. Oh, meant to do that. Totally. There we go. See, that's why I kind of like the way he can just stop on a dime. It's very cheesy, but it let me do.
Yeah, the problem
Like
is you
that.
have to put up with everything else.
Yeah.
Step
Oh, I
410
went-
says
yeah,
this
I
plays
went
like
too
an
early.
Excel spreadsheet that's about to crash.
Too many cells. Alright, just keep running, just keep running. Sometimes that
Your
works.
advice.
You set him up
Yeah.
for failure.
Oh, that hitbox is massive.
Imagine
Nice.
it as a
Whoa.
big square.
Yes.
Sorry, nothing.
Sorry, nothing.
That's
Alright,
my
say something
response.
nice.
To say
Sorry,
something nice.
nothing.
Yeah, no. Alright, let me... I'll do a stage.
Yeah.
Itching to play more of this.
Yeah. I'm definitely the
Oh, you
weirdo
remember
here. Like,
these
it's not
enemies.
good, but I am getting something out of experiencing Mario with such different physics rules.
You may be wondering...
I find it fascinating, like, this whole thing of being made from memory. Maybe not literally from memory, but someone kind of, like, taking an askew glance at Mario and going like, I can get close enough. And, like, this interpretation of it.
There's enough stuff wrong that I don't get the impression that they had the game running at the same time. Like someone that took pictures, and that's what they were maybe using.
Someone else can take over now. No, the way they would probably do this is that they would have in parallel with their, their computers, whatever they were programming the game on, they would have it in parallel with someone probably playing the game. They probably had, like, some means of playing the original Super Mario Bros. And having it for visual reference. I mean, granted, they're going to be limited in a lot of the things they, again, by their understanding of the game fundamentally, as well as by, like, their ability to program it. So it's a concomitant sort of thing between those two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not a hard one. I'm just not even gonna fuck with this one there.
Oh, I just realized the second part of the song is missing. It just loops after the...
Alright, whoever didn't go last time, go this time.
Johnny, go.
Yeah.
Go, Johnny, go, go, go.
Can't crouch either.
No, there are sprites in the sprite bank that are supposed to be crouch sprites, but they're unused in the final game. There's one for Big Mario ducking where his head sinks into his feet and looks really fucked up. I saw it on the Cutting Room Floor wiki article for this game, but...
Oh, this is a mean level. Because the enemies always spawn like... Yeah, that's basically your main hope, is to land on them. What we got for me?
Jesus.
Not so easy. Sometimes you just keep going.
Yeah.
Zarabook says it's possible they only had a VHS or beta tape of someone playing the original version.
It feels...
That could also be the case,
I
too.
could see it. Yeah.
But they would have had means to play Famicom games in South Korea at this point in time. I mean, it was Zemina who came out with the Famicom to MSX converter and sold that on the market.
There we go.
You would assume that they would have had hands on a Famicom in order to, like, understand its components and clone them, as well as probably, like, Super Mario Bros. For compatibility.
Yeah, but it kept blinking
testing.
a red light.
Hey, look at that. Hit the top.
They tried putting rubbing alcohol in it and they fucked it up.
I'm gonna take care of this.
Yep.
You originally wanted to do this on August 4th.
Yeah, 8-4. Fuck.
And I was... And it took me a while to think. I was like, why is 8-4 Bowser Day? Because it was Bowser Day. I was like, oh, the levels in
it's one of
Super
here
Mario,
we go.
The final one is 8-4.
Oh,
Nice.
They just forgot to program a death box there. Or here.
In there.
There it is, though.
There
I wonder if that's just something where they're like, this is too fucking hard. Let's make it so we have a way of beating this game ourselves over at Zemina. Ooh.
you're
okay.
fucked. I don't know if you could.
He's
get
playing
out of
some
this.
strong D there.
Yeah, no, that's no getting
I
past
feel like
that.
going over him is easier because his pattern is way more predictable.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be onto something
Yeah.
there.
In
Sorry,
general, in general, in Super Mario, at least until you get to the hammers, I always find going over Bowser easier than trying to go under him.
There's Lakitu, by the way. Someone was complaining about the lack of Lakitu.
Oh yeah, Lakitu doesn't show up until 4-1, so accurate here. Now, granted, the game's going to end at 4-4, so...
I would
If I'm correct.
love to get a mushroom.
There you go.
Hey.
I would love to get a fire flower. Also, notice that we can't hit the enemies from underneath, that we can't knock on the block, and even though they figured that out for Brother Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I hate how these
Yeah.
Lakitus, like... camouflage with the bushes.
There we go.
I scrolled it a
They
little bit.
did
too much.
remember. They did remember that the bushes and the clouds are the same.
Yeah, I
that
don't know what you
sound.
would call it, but the do 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 that whole part of the song is just missing. Which I wonder if that's a
Limitation of...
or if their VHS tape just didn't have that far in the song.
Yeah, all they had
That'd be
was
really
the
funny.
speed run of this game, so they're getting a very
Yeah.
abridged version of it.
I mean, the original speed run of this game is like 40 minutes before they, figured out any sort of speed tech.
I'm just gonna finish this out because we have 3 more games to get to, and I'm practiced enough at this. Love how that enemy just blends in effectively. How the beetle, bomp, whatever their name is.
Oh, nice.
Buzzy beetle.
Beetle
That sounds
bomb.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, there
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you go.
Oh, it's green.
Ooh,
Just comes out his nose. Yeah.
I was thinking like
Just a
eye
stop
lasers.
bubble.
So you may have noticed, I'm shooting fireballs, by the way. You just don't see them, but they are coming
We've
out.
seen him a little bit.
Like, sometimes you see them. They don't bounce. They explode
Nope.
on contact with the ground or an enemy, and so their range is limited as a result. And they don't work against half the enemies here, like the Buzzy Beetles and whatnot. They work on Koopas and Goombas. I wonder if they work on the spiked enemies that the Lakitus tossed out. I guess we gotta test that if afforded the opportunity. But it's just proof that there is a fire flower in this version of the game. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, that didn't count for a moment. Oh, I don't think you're gonna get that again.
Hey, they emulated the
Oh.
music speeding up when your time's low, though.
So close. Yeah, you can stand on the top of the flagpole. You can be a flagpole sitta, if you will. Harvey Danger would be so proud. The button for sprint for running is the same as shooting the fireball, and fireballs do not work on these enemies. Oof. Can I get this guy in midair? Yeah, I can get
Yes,
from
but-
underneath, but at what cost? Effectively, yeah.
See, it happens.
Oh, it does
Oh,
work.
it
on
does
that.
work. I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes it's just not actually firing. Or just like there's a frame where it does fire but doesn't work.
No, I want to keep the fire flower, even if I don't deserve it. There we go. On to the final stage. This is a 32 kilobyte cartridge. By the way, when you start the stage, it automatically fires off a fireball. Don't know what that's about, but it happens every time. There's me falling through the one tile gap.
There's no way this maze actually works.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so anyway.
This area has a real treadmill feeling to it. There we go.
That might be the full extent of it.
Oh, here's the proper... Yeah, this is the second part of it.
Oh, no, this is a maze. I did this the first time I played this, which would have been like a week ago. I got through this all in one like fell swoop without like triggering the
top right, I
traps.
guess.
Or bottom.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, I
have
think
a
that's
feeling
what
it's
it
top
is.
route,
That you
but
have
we'll
to...
No,
There you go.
it was- okay.
In a short time, your fate will be
Did
sealed.
you
Just
say
to show
he
that I
doesn't-
can't. Yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate.
Oh,
it,
wow,
though.
one hit kill as well.
Yep, he'll
Brutal.
knock you from big to small in one fell swoop. Yeah, I think the problem is that being big is that
Yeah, big
can we
hitbox.
jump over them?
Hey,
Oh no! Hey,
there
there we
you
go.
Gonna taunt him.
And backwards. one.
Hey!
To be continued.
To be continued?
All right, load up the next game. We gotta find out how this one ends.
That's Superboy. That's the first Superboy game. That's it.
Oh, typical sequel tease.
Well, actually, there was an ending level DLC, but it's been delisted now, so you can't get it.
Shit.
Ah.
That's disappointing. As is this game. Hey-oh. So that was Superboy 1. Ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. To be resolved in Superboy 2, which, if we look at the box art here, this is the box art for Superboy 2.
That's undeniably 2.
This is the box art for Superboy 1. Superboy 2. Okay. So, again, I speculated that these were the, first of all, these would be Master System or Game Boy boxes rather than MSX sleeves or however the MSX games are sold. I am going to say that they probably did for this release here, this seems to be a better, higher resolution scan. There's no like artifacts of them like hastily inserting the 1 or the 2 there. So I think this one is how it was sold on Master System, how Superboy 2 was sold. I think they were just like flagrantly stealing the key art from Super Mario Brothers for this. And this is released the same year, so I think these would have released like almost in tandem with one another, like probably like maybe within like just 3 months of one another, so that you finish that first one and this one's already on the shelf for you and has the same cover, it has the same trappings, so that's gonna be part 2. That the only difference here is like the Roman numeral 2 up there. So this could have been like a visibility thing. This could have been a technique just to make sure people like knew what the continuation would be, and they didn't want to.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Say something nice.
If you wanted that sequel, if you wanted this to was going to be continued, you didn't have to wait very long.
I would say it's nice that they have their phone number on the cover. So you can call them up, give them a call, give them a ring. I don't think Zemina's around anymore. I think they got acquired by a company in like 1990 by like someone that was like publicly traded, and then that company that acquired them went bust in like 1992, and so Zemina, all the people from Zemina, like their core team left, founded a studio called Open, but that happens a little later in the timeline. Anyhow, from now, we're gonna continue playing the MSX versions of these games. We're going to continue emulating MSX rather than SG-1000 or Master System at all. But we'll get into it. And you may have already surmised, that this is going to be fairly similar to the Superboy we just played. Which is to say, same foundational code, same gameplay, same, everything, just different set of levels for it, basically. Now,
my knowledge of Super Mario kind of ends at a certain point. Like, I know, go figure, but I kind of don't remember what levels 5, 6, and 7 look like in Super Mario. Does this look like this? Are they just picking up where they left off, or are these, like, different levels?
I think at a certain point, these are, levels inspired by like level worlds 5 through 8 in Super Mario Bros. It's certainly not inspired by Lost levels. They don't have any of like the ridiculous platforming challenges that you would have had in that. Though I've seen like some people speculate that this is supposed to be like their Lost levels, and it's like it's not.
Some of the weird kind of architecture you saw, especially at the start of the stage, kind of reminded me a little bit of Lost levels. Not in difficulties, just in terms of like that's a weird configuration of blocks for a Mario game.
Yeah, I could definitely confirm that is not 5-1. I just looked it up.
Oh yeah, it's World 1-1. Aren't you reading the title there? Oh, that box is devious.
So when I was a kid, because Super Mario was like not my first video game, but one of my first video games, and I definitely always used the warp in level 4. So I kind of don't know at all what levels or worlds 5, 6, and 7 look like.
I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers Deluxe for the Game Boy Color. I mean, granted, I had like an NES cartridge for Super Mario Brothers, but the one I enjoyed the most was the Game Boy Color version of it, even though it had like way less screen real estate and is objectively like an awful way to play that game. But, it encouraged you to go back and, even if you did Warp Zone, they encouraged you to go back to previous levels to, like, fill out completion of the game or what have you. So, I guess I'm more familiar than some with the in-between stages, the flyover stages, if you will.
Yeah, you're familiar with them, but in a very zoomed-in sort of way.
Yeah. So we can run along the top here. We can do that. We didn't get to show that off last time. I was hoping I could just land it here, because I want to see if I can get a fire flower right. It's better to have it than not.
Yeah.
Granted, one hit, regardless, sends you down to small, so you're not giving yourself any sort of buffer.
Yeah, but I can project a fireball in front of me, and that can occasionally take out an enemy.
I like being able to like go into the pipe backwards like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's stylish.
Whee!
Moonwalking Mario. So again, not much difference here between Superboy 1 and 2. Not much iterated on, improved upon. Maybe they're a little bit more ambitious with the level design.
That's different. There's no like base to that thing. So it's just green floating. That's different.
In a sense of the word, I guess. It's all be lazy.
That
mistake.
Goomba spawned such a way that it was just going to die. That's different. I made a level once, I probably told this story. I made a level once in Super Mario Maker, where Mario goes into a pipe and sees a Goomba just immediately fall and die, and then has to spend the entire level contemplating mortality by like reliving the vision of the Goomba dying over and over again. And Nintendo took it down. I don't know why.
They're not free thinkers over there. Like, you know, what's weird is, like, the things they get right in this. Like, Bowser stages not having question mark blocks. Like, that's a very specific thing that, you know, you might not have even thought about unless I told you, unless you just heard it here right now from me.
Yeah.
That, you know, you're not supposed to be able to get mushrooms and fire flowers in the course of a Bowser stage. So they adhere to that. Go! Next stage.
Oh, look at that. They changed that too.
Who wants to take
Could've
this care of
sworn
the
you could-
stage here?
I could have sworn you could have gotten mushrooms and flowers in a... Anyway, I'll take it. I'll take it as soon as the thing lets me. There we go. There's no reason for me to ever check these blocks.
No.
There's just not going to be anything in them.
Never.
My instinct tells me to check them, but...
There's also no invisible blocks. No hidden blocks. And again, is that a consequence of the developers not being privy to these existing based on their either watching a VHS tape or just kind of like playing the game, like, you know, with one eye on the monitor and one eye like on like a spreadsheet where they're filling out like, you know, like here's how we do this and this, or here's what the sprite art looks like, you know. It's such a strange process that would have birthed this game. And so much of what is lost is just things that, like, you know, like my belief, my earnest belief that there are just features of the game that they were not privy to, and then maybe like a few that they just didn't know how to program.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm more leaning to the latter, especially with their, you know, very tiny development team and budget and time frame. The priority was more just make, you know, it's close enough. The little extras, the sub-worlds, invisible blocks, whatever, kind of thing.
Ooh.
At the same
Real high
time,
there.
you know, like, I would point out that, you know, like, you could have gotten Super Mario Bros. In South Korea. It would have been exorbitantly expensive because of imports and because of the gray market, or, you know, whatever the case may be, that, you know, like, to own a Famicom in this era of South Korean gray market video gaming would have required, like, you know, like, being, like, seriously invested in the scene, or being someone like...
you can't...
You can if you... Yeah, use that. Yep.
No, I know what Charkie was trying to go from underneath.
Yeah.
And,
when I was like, you
yeah.
can't, there was a specific thing that I was trying to do that you cannot
yeah, it's
do.
not a semi-form platform, as Mario Maker calls it.
No, I'm not going to save from the position I was in.
I could save this. I could do this.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that, like, how many
Yeah, you take it.
South Korean gamers of this era would have actually had the point of comparison.
Not a lot would have been the thing. Yeah, I see it. I see my way through. I need to scroll enough to spawn the green fish. So if I do it like... I have to go backwards. It is tricky. I'm not saying this is easy, but there is a way through here because of the ridiculous air control you get. But it's probably safer to just do it like...
Yeah, just go back far enough where it was not in a fuck state.
A lot of fishies. Weird stage end. I thought he was going to fall down to the pit below.
Mhm.
Johnny, you take over.
Yeah.
Get some more miles in. Like, this is why, you know, here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame, we like to give bad games their due process, obviously. But more than that, you know, we also like to figure out how something like this comes to be. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of question marks. We know what we need is someone to interview
that's fun.
the ex-Zemina people. Still try for mushrooms and stuff. Jeez Louise. No backward scrolling, by the way.
This is my challenge run. No mushrooms.
What I would love is more just documentation in general for these releases, for the Zemina catalog. That Hardcore Gaming 101 article that we keep mentioning and alluding to is pretty good. It's a great like foundation. It's a great basis. It's a great starting point for understanding, you know, this very specific subset of industry at a moment in time, and how, you know, South Korea emerged on the gaming scene. You know, South Korea is like a major force in the industry at large now. They've mostly, like, you know, focused in on MMOs and free-to-play experiences just because of the market, you know, becomes specialized in that sort of way. But to see these early roots, you know, I want to be able to draw the line there. I want to be able to draw the line between that and this.
Oh, I try to get fancy with it. Hey, they broke the rule cast. They put a question mark block there.
Yeah, but it was only a coin. Even though in this case it should be random, so it is, I guess, breaking the rule technically.
Again, I'm pretty sure
You may be able to get
unless I played a
mushrooms,
different thing.
like,
Yeah.
very rarely. Like, there may be one, but definitely not in the later Bowser Castle stages.
The thing is, like, in 1-1, like, that first question mark block between, like, the two Potaboos, I'm pretty sure is either a mushroom or a fire flower, depending on what you have. Maybe in later ones, it's not so much, but...
Right, I always forget that hitbox is massive.
And now they've added the additional wrinkle of the fireballs.
Oh,
Oh, that one didn't hurt, though.
no, that one I just very skillfully
Oh!
dodged.
There was something there for you.
Yeah.
Huh?
There wasn't... No, nothing. Sorry, nothing.
Oh, no, they
Yeah, that's
switched
how
it
you
over. They swapped the text for "Go next stage" in this.
Yeah,
in this
that's how you can
sequel
tell
here.
this is a proper sequel. Yeah.
You're getting close to your goal, finally.
Oh, come on.
Alright, a lot of chances to roll the dice here.
That's what I'm looking forward to here.
Yeah, no, it was fascinating to hear that full history of stuff. 'Cause I knew a little bit about that stuff between North Korea and Japan. The main thing I know is the version of Guilty Gear, I think it's X, where the South Korean version has an entirely different soundtrack because of that stuff.
I think it's XX,
In North-
but...
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
splitting
yeah, one of the-
hairs.
Yeah, one of the X games.
Not to be confused with
And,
Tony Hawk. Not to be confused
yeah.
with Tony Hawk's X Games. Yeah.
But it was interesting just to hear, obviously, very different reasons and more history with it, but very similar to that, you know, like that post-World War II US anti-Japan sentiment as well. Of like, oh yeah, their technology and culture will overtake us, and that fear.
Oh yeah, like the
being there as well.
cyberpunk fear.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened to Lakitu?
Oh. Ugh.
Oh, I don't remember who it was, but I remember Cass making fun of someone on Blue Sky who, in response to that stuff about cyberpunk fiction, saying, that's definitely something you believe. It's like, no, that's documented history, you fucking idiot.
Do you think when they changed the palette of the background that fucked up Lakitu's palette?
Yes.
I could
yeah,
s-
it's whatever
Yeah.
limited palette they have, and pulling from where those colors would initially pull from, now being
Yeah.
occupied by a different color set because of the nighttime stage.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say directly this is, quote, their lost level, but I can see some of the inspiration. Maybe just similar thinking of, oh, let's just make the second one more difficult.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty natural line of thinking, all told.
Yeah.
You know, for super players. Ooh, these stages are always tough. These ones that are what we replace the swimming stages with are some of the toughest stages in these across these games.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we have the double jump. The double jump, knowing that you have it, you know, as inconsistent as it may be, but it is absolutely, like, essential.
Like, the way I usually do is, because I'm thinking like original Super Mario Brothers, I'm holding jump once I bounce on somebody. But that is enough to trigger that second jump and get you a lot of air. So it almost feels normal-ish.
You know, I'll take the hit here. I'm just want to... Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do the whole time there. And I hope you don't mind that I'm just commandeering it because I just want to get us through these
Yeah, go for it.
original Superboy games. The later ones, 3 and 4, have more meat to them. We can still potentially beat those in the course of the night, too. We can knock like 4 games off the list right now in the span of tonight, and I would rather do that.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so that's a rude one. Would be easier as Small Mario, but alas.
Punished for your greed, your gluttony, your avarice.
Ooh, yeah. There we go. Still nothing.
Is this also a four-word banger?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Played it safe.
I think whenever they do the next Super Mario Maker, they should include like a way to play with the Superboy stuff. Like, they
I've
should give
always
you a
contended
level pack for that.
I've contended they should put Super Mario Bros. Special stuff in. That they should have the Donkey Kong objects in the Hudson Bay. Because why the fuck not, right?
Yeah.
They could actually do that if they wanted to. There's nothing stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hudson would own that stuff, considering it is Donkey Kong items.
Yeah, I wonder. I've always wanted to see them do proper.
What was that?
Yeah,
Buzzy
hold
King
on.
doing?
Yeah, I'm just realizing now.
Hey!
I have to go now. My people need me.
Oh, it's looping.
I think they
Just having fun.
appended the code for the Flying Koopa to it. Is what must be happening here, because I think there are like flying
guess-
Buzzy Beetles in like
That's the
Lost
thing that
Levels.
they came up with at some point. Yeah.
And because they're not affected by the Fire Flower, that actually makes them somewhat tough.
But yeah, I'd really like to see proper Mario Brothers 2 or Mario World stuff in, as opposed to just the way it's handled so far, where it's like a specific power up and then it it's not full themes.
Oh,
Then fuck it, I don't
fuck
know.
the double jump. I'm
Donkey
just
Kong
gonna do it
97.
like this.
We had this discussion on the show before, and I know like YouTube chat had input on this, but I kind of don't remember what they said. But I posited that like, what would be stopping Nintendo from taking like bootlegs and saying like, oh, we're gonna publish it now and we're gonna sell it for our money because it's y'all didn't get our permission to make it and it's our intellectual property. People in the YouTube comments did. I think they gave me reasons why they can't actually do that. Or
Yes, there are reasons.
It's still in my mind though. It seems like a thing that they should be able to do. Like, well, I mean, it is
You're thinking in terms of like
ours.
fairness. You're thinking in terms of legality.
Right.
Yeah, I've
And
wondered
to
a
be fair,
similar thing.
I don't have to hand it to Nintendo, but
No.
just thinking about the way these things work, it's like that sounds like it should be how it works.
I want
but I know
to
it
stop short. There we go.
Yeah, I've had a similar wonder with original characters in an existing universe.
You mean if
'Cause I
like
guess it's-
someone made like a Sonic OC and then someone and then Sega put that in a thing? I feel like
Ask Ken Penders about that. See how it went for him.
yeah.
Well, that whole situation's fucked. Sega just went, fuck it. Yeah, you can have the rights to these characters you don't own. Then I guess they just hired clowns as their lawyers.
Bye-bye, bitch. And
We finally found her. End.
that's it. That's Superboy 2. That is, in fact, the ending. Could not have given any less of a shit about rewarding the player or what have you.
Good work. Dino Jump.
Sorry, end.
Sometimes I feel like games end too suddenly. Like, we just finished Damnation, and I felt like that game just wrapped up way too suddenly, right? Like, yeah, I feel like we didn't get any good closure. I feel like that game would have been better, though, if the moment you killed the final boss, it just said, end, and then cut the credits.
Would have been
I
better
feel like
for
that
us.
would somehow be an improvement.
For
Yeah.
our purposes, it would have been better. Well, speaking of better, you better hope that the next game in the Superboy series is better than that. And it might be. It should be. It is Superboy 3, now with new box art.
Mario's looking different.
Just slightly, just a little different. Again, this
Hey, it's
would be-
Luigi.
Yeah, finally. This is a 1991 release. Again, this would have come out, been designed primarily for the MSX, had a Master System release, or a Game Boy release down the line. This is, I think, by 1991, I think there was a bit more crackdown on like the likenesses of characters, at least as far as like, promotional material was concerned. It was probably a little bit harder to get away with this putting Mario key art on the fucking box, so they had to come up with something original here. But we'll see how that translates into the game itself. We'll see if they have all new assets drawn up, or if Superboy 3 is where the series finally starts to diverge, finally starts to carve out its own unique identity. By the way, all that being said, there is alternate box art for this. I almost forgot to mention this. I almost forgot why I was bringing up that there is another scan that goes around of this box art that completely contradicts the point I just made. That looks like this. But I don't know how official this is or what this would have applied to. This maybe was a release outside of South Korea or what the case may be. There's no branding on this. This could have been an insert that came inside the box. It's just completely speculative, but this image floats around, and I do like it. I appreciate its egregiousness again.
I feel like the seahorse is a cartoon character from the 80s who would tell you not to do drugs in a PSA. And Mario in this particular image is extremely on drugs.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes. What have they done to his eyes?
Yo, chat, I've got this great idea for a Mario parody. What if the mushrooms were psychedelic mushrooms?
Holy shit, you just cracked the code, Johnny.
Yeah, don't anyone copy that now. I shared it with you. I trust you in confidence.
He looks angry.
Oh, he winks though.
It's going to boot into demo mode here. And we can see that, it's still Mario, but it's Super Mario Bros. 3 graphics with Super Mario World-inspired level design. So
yeah,
it's fascinating combination here we'll be diving into. In this.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. I like the top hat Koopa there.
Is that how it's supposed to?
It may have been a little garbled. Someone take over, someone play. How about you, Charky?
Okay. Yeah.
I have to
Oh,
level
this
the
is my
audio.
speed.
Yep.
Huh. No. Well, they understood visually what a slope was.
Still hard to program, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
liking
have
this music
one-
though.
Base.
I'm curious where it's likely stolen from. I mean, that's not even a South Korean thing. The amount of music in Japanese video games in this era that were just 8-bit renditions of famous, American rock songs.
The orb. That gave me a boot up there.
Look at that. Oh, I love it.
These graphics look like they're super eagled.
Anti-aliasing off.
Oh,
that was a
I
coin.
think that was coins. Yeah.
I was watching, some friends and I have been watching some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff lately, and we watched the American Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out after season 3. And the comment I made was the way they drew it looks like it was filtered through Super Eagle. It was so ugly.
Someone noted the volume was a little loud. I lowered it, hopefully, a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to tell with the volume differential between some of these games. Same hardware, just complete different volumes for across software. But
There's
hopefully...
something so endearing about that they tried to do the slopes. And then they couldn't, but they did anyway. We can't make them smooth, we just have to make them stairs, you jump up.
Well, this is easier to control. However, it is easier to control, a shopping cart than a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh! Oh, it's this bit, Charkie. Slide down the hill.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Hold on.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, he knows how to use slopes.
Yeah, he came at you a mile a minute.
Wait a minute.
Rules for me and
Okay.
not for thee.
Yeah, this isn't like a special slope or anything. Also, down doesn't do anything. All right, Cass, you probably know. What am I collecting?
Oh,
Those
this-
faces?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
This is supposed to be... I don't remember which stage it is, but this is supposed to be the first stage of Mario World. I can see it. Like, the little parts. That's where the really, really big bullet bill was supposed to be. You crouch under.
But you can't crouch in this, so you just stand right there.
Yeah. Also, I find it interesting that the adult Mario sprite, as some would call him, it has part of his, like, full P speed running animation where he sticks his arms out. I wonder what that's
Yes.
supposed to be. That thing that makes it
Oh,
big.
interesting.
Yeah, a lot of
Hit it from
fucked
the
collision
side.
in this of hitting things from the side, getting stuck inside of them. That could also happen in Superboy 1 and 2. We just weren't as lucky. We saw some enemies get stuck inside of blocks though, because like these blocks here would be composed of 4 tiles. Because of the I would imagine these are like 4 4x4 blocks. 4 4x4 tiles to comprise a single image here. You can even see like as these are flashing. Because of the sprite limitation, you can see like how many segments are made up of. Get a sort of clue as to how this might actually be like 16 by 16 tiles, or 8 by 8s. I don't know. It's hard to say. Here's a boss fight.
Oh, the physics are weird now. In a way that's hard to describe.
Without the screen scrolling, it fucks with your sense of momentum and speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, good
Feels
music.
slippery, actually. Ah, shit.
Good music.
Ah, damn it.
I hope someone, maybe
You know what,
YouTube comments, can say
Put
where
me
this
back a
music's
little
from.
further, just so we go into the next level with Bolt.
Yeah. With the hopes of finding a power up
Yeah.
on top of this. Yeah.
Exactly. I just gotta wait for him to make a return. Good night. Yep. Okay.
Hey!
Hey, jaunty little jingle.
Yeah.
All right,
And just right
Johnny,
into
you
the
want?
next stage. Johnny, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Okay.
angry.
I'm not actually sure if there is running in this.
Well, you should jump on that Koopa first of all. See if they let you.
Oh,
do
okay.
The, Hey, look at this.
Innovation! Yeah, I just don't think running's in this. Oh, Monty Mole.
So you can tell the green Koopas and the red Koopas. They don't collide with each other. They don't have collision, but you can still do that at the very least. You
Hey.
can use a shell to knock out an enemy. So this is definitely an improvement.
In some sense, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that
Oh,
was.
you know what? Yeah, let's. Yeah.
yeah. I'm too used to the original Superboy with the slower jumping. Now he goes right up real quick.
There you go. Oh, pink.
Is it
Nothing?
just not...
Yeah,
is it
I'm-
mapped
I'm-
on something different?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out right now because we have the fire flower now, so theoretically,
Yeah, I'll let you figure that out.
yeah. Give me a second here. It can only be so many things. I mean, the keyboard map here.
Yeah.
Maybe look this up for me too in the background just to see if.
Have a goosey.
There a manual for this out there?
No, probably not. But so may have at least written like a guide or something. Yeah, this one I haven't beaten. I beat the other 2 Superboys, but this one is new to the palette. Ooh, yeah. I'm praying for a run button. Clip Gesture says run is also mapped to the same button as fire. That was definitely the case for the previous game. Previous games where we had 2 buttons mapped.
Oh, the new power up. Oh, forget the flower.
Pepsi? That's probably the South Korean flag, yeah.
I remember there was this online sketch thing where like you had like a very limited amount of ink per day that you could draw on this global sketchboard basically. and the entire center of that huge global sketchboard was completely taken up by the South Korean flag because, like, the entirety of South Korea, I guess, decided to band together and make sure that the entire game was, like, covered with that. If anyone ever tried to draw over it, it was immediately restored back to the South Korean flag. There were, like, people, like, day and night making sure that no one ever touched it. So a large portion of that sketchboard could just not be used.
This is a tough spot to be in. But I negotiated it. So as you can tell here, what they're doing as far as like the star power-up is concerned, is that it's like the next level beyond Fire Flower is how they've conceptualized it. So we're just going to keep getting invincibilities temporarily.
Okay. Unfortunately, the best I could find is footage of the Master System version, and that does show the fireballs being used. But in terms of finding an answer how you do it in this version, I'm not having luck, unfortunately.
What if it's like something weird like up and shoot or down and shoot?
I'm going to try using keyboard. Okay.
Oh.
Up!
Yep.
Hey! And look at that, it bounces.
That's the N key. Okay.
Weird.
So that wouldn't be like the default bind. So I'm sure whatever RetroPad keyboard map is, it assumes like this is what most games would commonly do. Let's do it like this. I'm just gonna do as if it were a keyboard. Keyboard numpad 1 2. That's probably not it. It's probably X, I think, for jump. And N for, and again, if they had converted this to the Master System, they would have tightened up the controls. They would have, like, manually bound the inputs in such a way as to, like, guarantee compatibility, functionality at all.
Only have so many buttons in that thing. So I'll be right back.
And now X is doing that, but now I can't jump. So I feel like we're getting the worst of both worlds now in the way I've managed to fuck this up.
Yeah, at the very least, whatever X was mapped to at first seemed to be right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see numpad 1 or whatever it was. Keyboard numpad 1. If I can convolute this working, it'd be great. No, this is why I should test these things before we. Let me. What's the default bind for this? Let me try space. Let me just see what happens. Okay.
There we go.
And now I need to just make sure the fireball actually works. So I guess I'm going to switch that over to X. And hopefully this solves all of our problems. Nope. I can have
I thought
one.
it was N.
It was, and now it's not.
Okay.
And now it is. It's when I'm focused in on the window, N shoots the fireball, but then we get this distorted audio. So I have to Alt-Tab out of the game in order to get, like, functional audio. So we're really getting fucked by emulation here. Maybe I should have just downloaded the Master System version of this. Maybe we should just play the Master System version of this. Maybe I can go get the Master System version of this real quick, and that'll solve our problems. I'll take this opportunity to mention that there is a game by the name of Super Bioman that is around, that I've seen around, that is sometimes erroneously credited to Zemina. That is not the case. That is the product of a different developer. But I've seen, like, I think the Wikipedia article for Zemina straight up, like, miscredits them in that way. I think it's, like, the bootleg wiki has, like, the proper accreditation for that particular developer. Yeah, again, underdocumented and also misrepresentative in a lot of cases as far as the information about all this, about these games. And I don't know what, the remedy for that is. I don't have a solution for that other than just, crossing the pond in such a way that, people from South Korea are willing to speak more about this. People who were involved in the scene specifically, I mean to say. People who would have been around at the time. Zemina ex-employees and whatnot stepping up to talk about the past, or just even people like enthusiasts from that period of game development, of the games industry, being like, here's how it was. This is what the scene was like. Let me walk you through it, the finer points of it.
So on a real surface level, because I know like the actual answer here is like more proper research, but what would you trust more? A Wikipedia article on some company or game or something like that, or the dedicated wiki to a game or company's entry on that stuff?
Good question.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, Wikipedia has more like rigorousness, at least a little bit, than like just random wikias or fandom wikis. But on the other hand, the latter are being run by the real fans of that stuff, the people who really would want to get into the weeds on that shit.
Here's the thing: some game-specific or franchise-specific fan wikis can go way more esoteric and in-depth than others, but also some fan wikis is where people will just make shit up. And
Silent Hill, I know that's what you're thinking.
Silent Hill's a big one, but it seems consistent. Like, outside of really big games, just every so often, the James Bond fan wiki, for example, people will just write their fanfic in the articles. That one's pretty bad. And then sometimes if a game's obscure enough, then the only people doing it, like, no one's checking the work. So Wikipedia would be the main answer, but when it comes to the kind of listicle stuff that Wikipedia doesn't like, then sometimes the fan wikis will be better.
I assume slopes still don't work here.
Yeah, no. But we do have a functional run button,
Yeah.
which means we'll have a functional fireball button. Shame we have to replay this. And also, like, you notice that the graphics are a little higher contrast. If I'm to recall correctly, there is, like, a technical reason why games that were, like, SG-1000 compatible, when they were played on the Master System, like, it had, like, a fixed palette. Can't crouch still.
Nope. No crouching's a feature. Ooh, I like the way that the when enemies are on the ground and the screen is scrolling, the position of the ground does not match the horizontal position of the enemies as it scrolls, so they get way out of sync.
I have a potential theory about the crouching. Is this... I guess this is more an MSX question. Would it ever allow you to do diagonal inputs? So pressing down and left or down and right?
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you with certainty.
Yeah, because I wonder if that's why.
Well, there's no real diagonal input in Mario games. Like, there's no reason to.
Well, it's... You can
Down, left,
crouch
down, right.
jump. Yeah, crouch jump would the only thing you would do.
The volume is fluctuating on this, by the way.
Yeah.
There are moments where, like, the notes are louder than others. Let me turn the volume down a little lower just to be safe, err on the side of caution. And again, for whatever reason, when it comes to this emulation, if I'm focused on the RetroArch window, the game stutters way worse. I think that might be a Windows issue. I think the latest Windows update fucked things again, believe it or not.
Good old Windows 10. I can't believe I'm saying that, but good old Windows 10, like, still on it, have way less problems than, like, everyone else in the world.
And yeah, I did find a fan wiki that seemed to be somewhat dedicated to these games. They did mention most of this music being original. So that's cool, at least.
You know, there's that one wiki that's just the ideas wiki, which is
The
a
worst.
wiki. Yeah, a wiki put together for like your ideas for things that could possibly exist, which is
Yeah,
really the fuck up the SEO wiki. If anything.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. And a semi-related thing to that, I was testing a Super Mario 64 cartridge I got in the mail recently, and I was fucking around trying out backwards long jump things, and when I looked up something just to confirm I was doing it right, I didn't realize for a minute the wiki entry I got was a fucking creepypasta like wiki telling me about the backwards long jump, and then I was like, I didn't realize at first, and I was reading a bit more to see, okay, why does it not mention, say, the kind of input you can do? And then it started getting into, oh, here's the lore behind the backwards long jump and what it means to the Mario universe. Like, okay, this is not the website I want. Get out of here.
Pause on every other frame. Blood comes out of the N64. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not getting that last part.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is for the best, because it would have made my desk all dirty.
I do like just being able to fireball this. Having functional fireballs is nice.
He
They're
wants
still
it.
not
He's opening
great.
his mouth to be fed.
Open wide.
Meatballs. Nom, nom, nom.
All right, someone else can take over.
yeah,
actually, you know what?
go
Let me
again.
make sure you can actually control it. That would be a good first thing to do. Yeah, well, let me do that and that. And now it should be good to roll. I think this is significantly easier than Superboy, at least so far. And yet you find a way.
Yeah, I picked a differ.
Yeah, hardest game I've ever played. Wow.
Okay, try a little harder this time.
Alright.
You have a run button now.
Yeah, it's circle this time.
Oh, there you go, that's what happened. I have to...
What's your
Good, you
excuse
ran
that
right
time?
off.
What's your excuse that time, Johnny? What's your...
That it's on circle. Here's the thing, I would not have been gaming with NES stuff. My earliest memories is my sisters using Super Nintendo Mega Drive. So that kind of vertical button placement, I'm not used to. And that's kind of how you have to play when you're doing
Get
circle
those blocks,
as
get
run.
those blocks, get those blocks. God damn it.
I'm just trying to get through the game.
You know
It's
what
not
makes
like
it
there's
easier?
any more
Being
power-ups you can
invincible.
get.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, good thing he was invincible for that.
Oh,
Ooh,
that
do you
feels
not
bad.
Do you not go with the platforms?
You do not go with the platform.
There's like this being a weird compromise, mix-up, mashup between Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 is fascinating to me. I don't have a thought beyond that. It's just fascinating to me. That's stylistically, it's a compromised version. I know there's like versions of Super Mario World for the NES in bootleg capacity, where they've attempted like to demake it. I ain't getting that question mark.
Not getting that, yeah. Oh.
No, you're really not getting it.
Alright.
Weird
this-
how these like platforms are falling too, like just
Yeah, yeah.
diagonally.
Yes. A strange
Once you
choice.
realize how it works, though,
It's oddly
Like the-
forgiving.
that you have to follow them, it's not too bad.
I'll also say that, you know, we talk a fair bit about the Brazilian games gray market. It comes up on the show a lot. You know, it comes up in the Bad Game Hall of Fame a lot.
I think I... Hang on. Okay, no.
And how,
I
you know, the Master System there and the Mega Drive had lifespans that spanned decades. Just plate where it lies.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the impression that I get is that when Super Famicom came out, when Super NES came out in Japan and North America, that I know South Korea eventually gets their clone versions of it. Or I think at some point Nintendo does enter the picture to start officially distributing hardware in there in the 90s. So, like, you know, the gray market becomes like a proper... like officially licensed products only. I mean, it's done through South Korean manufacturers. It's done through South Korean companies. Samsung and Daewoo are major manufacturers of like components, electronics at all in South Korea. So they're the sorts who could secure deals with the likes of a Nintendo, with the likes of a Sega or what have you, to officially distribute their games and develop consoles, you know, capable of playing them, of cloning that hardware and whatnot. But I get the impression that this MSX configuration How about you take over,
Got the
Charkie?
run.
That this sort of configuration of like MSX clone consoles and SG-1000 and Master System et al. Was a bit more long-lasting. At least like it spanned like a little while, like into the lifespan of the Super Famicom, that people were still settling for games of this caliber, of this vintage,
Finally made it.
of this sort of technological limitation, while the SNES was like starting to come into its own. Thank you for the raid, Sasquatulus. Hello, Sasquatulus and Raiders. Don't mind us. We're just enjoying Super Mario Bros. Wait, now I'm misreading that. Super Boy.
Oh, I misread that as a platform.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Those are collectibles. What they amount to, who knows?
Yeah, I
But-
still don't know what the smiley faces are. Oh, that's just mean.
I think it might just be you get enough of them and you get a 1-up.
Probably.
What are the coins for then?
Collect enough of them, you get one up.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we get enough.
Though I think they do keep resetting the count on the little bug
Smiley
boy.
faces?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Oh, I wonder if they're meant to... Oh, yeah. Well,
That's going to be a Whoa, wait. I think I jumped off of it.
You
you
did.
definitely
You
got an
bounced.
extra life there.
Wait, is that not... Okay.
Testing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to let it pass.
Oh god, the flickering here is
It's that or
brutal.
the bugs might be this game's version of the dragon
Aw.
coins from Mario World. There's like 5 of them on the stage.
Possibly. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Clip the Jester points out that so part of the reason the audio is kind of fucked in this version that the Master System SG-1000 has similar but not identical sound chip to the MSX, which was clocked at a speed that couldn't handle particularly low octaves, so whatever sound driver Zemina used here seems to automatically insert a default louder high-pitched note on any note too low to play on the Sega Master System sound chip. That parses. That makes sense to me. Yeah, we mentioned that, they have similar guts. The fact that you could, bring a program code over relatively unchanged, that the Master System in its SG-1000 compatibility mode, I think it was, mode 0 through 3, then mode 4 would have been, Master System graphics, so it would just know to, display it at the low resolution, operate on this program code, etc. But, it's not going to be in a perfect science. That backwards compatibility wasn't going to be, 1-to-1. It wasn't like they put the entirety of an SG-1000 running in parallel with the Master System inside of a Master System, especially as you're getting into the South Korean bootlegs thereof would have probably been even jankier in some capacity. The Gam Boy and what's the name of the other one? The Zimix, for the MSX and whatnot.
Come here, you.
Hey, that's efficient.
Hey! And yeah, when you got 5 of those bug things, you just got 1-up. So it's kind of like dragon coins, just there's extra. There's more than 5 per stage.
Is this the final level?
That's a good question.
Yeah, how long is this game?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
yeah,
not nice.
let's see you if you can keep this. If you do a jump and then to the right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I like this Reese.
Oh, I don't like
Squish.
this.
Can you
I don't
fireball
like
it?
this. Of course not. It's a thump.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
just wanted to
okay,
check.
it's worth trying
Well,
given what we're playing.
yeah.
But
That pattern
Oh,
is
this
pretty rough, yeah.
yeah, the acceleration of this thing sucks. Come on. Yeah, because you can't do a reliable tiny little hop.
Johnny, look up how long this game is. I know it's not super long.
Yeah.
But I need to come at it from the other way.
Yeah, look at that long play again.
Baby steps. I wonder if I can just run under it. Yes.
Creative Name
Wonder
03
if the
says
short-
Ozempic Thwomp.
It's not a long game, but at our pace, we're only about a third through?
Fuck.
A quarter
Oh.
to a third, somewhere in between that.
This jump sucks. All right. Oh, Ooh, Cass, you try this.
Yeah, I can give
Give
this
this
a shot.
All right. Whoa, you got him stuck too.
Now this is a tricky jump. I think I can land. If I land there,
I
then
think if
land
you
there.
just
Yep. That they have.
Actually, I think the way you landed the first time, if you just kept going, you would have also gotten it.
Still.
Ooh.
Every so often with this game, they get really mean with the level design.
It's like the jump is also kind of all or nothing, and sometimes you don't know which one you're gonna get for the same like amount of button press you put in.
Bait that out.
Yeah, I will say, look at long play. It does seem like this. I'll call it a castle stage. It seems quite long.
What do we think it's gonna be at the end? Reznor, a Koopaling, Bowser,
Another hammer bro / boomerang bro.
another Hammer Row, yeah.
I'm betting it's just another boomerang bro. I'm betting they didn't bother. Oh, well,
he
you know, he
shoots
spits fire though. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he's basically bootleg Bowser.
Bowser's understudy.
Yeah.
5 hits.
Und clear. Oh, round clear. Sorry.
No, this game did not come out in Germany, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, Giana
those
Sisters over
Giana
there.
Sisters again, yeah.
Oh, look at this shit. Still in the
Oh, we
castle, huh?
We're just in Castle World now.
Yeah. Looking at long play, I think that's how this game kind of plays out. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say, but yeah, I'm a little bit more familiar with Giana Sisters. And I think it's really funny that that's just become an actual bespoke series now.
By bespoke
It's
series,
like,
you
yeah,
mean
no,
they came out with like one official squeakle, then they re-released that like 7 times, I think.
I want to say they've added stuff to it, maybe, or...
The only
I'd have to
Giana
do the
Sisters I've
research.
ever played hands-on is that like new sequel, and I don't much care for it, to be honest.
Oh, you know what? Let me see if collecting the fire flower... Oh, you know what? I want to take the hit and then collect the
yeah,
fire
and you want to
flowers.
see if that'll get you fire.
Yes, it does.
Hey, cool.
The logs from Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh. Yeah, if I speed through this, if I keep up at this pace, Johnny, if I just get us through this game, how long would it take?
Yeah.
How long is the
Now
long
I
play?
would say... Well, it's 30 minutes.
I want to do it. I want to
All right.
scratch this game off the list. That means we probably won't beat Superboy 4, which is fine, because that game is way longer,
Let's see.
from what I recall. Even though it has like a more
5,
bespoke ending. I think that's the one where they have a proper ending for it. There might be a proper ending for this one, too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, fuck. This is really hard to control. Like, I mean, to be clear, even though I took the control and I immediately got that, you know, that jump that Charkie was struggling with, it still doesn't play well. I just have a way with garbage.
Yeah.
I also figure you've probably played this, at least the Sun
It's
Green,
weird.
more than I have. which
in
is
some
none.
ways, it played...
No,
yeah.
no, I had not played it before tonight. I had not played this version of...
But it's weird. In some ways, it does play better than the first one, but there's other parts of the first one I actually do prefer how that felt. This one does have a more all-or-nothing feel with the jumps. Especially because the jump, like, the upward momentum is so quick.
It does
They're
feel
kind of
fundamentally
weird.
different, yeah.
Yeah. In a way, like, the moon gravity feels completely wrong, but it gives you a more chance. Yeah, I saw this in a long play. Yeah, legit, it's just a big chunk of levels are just in this castle-esque area.
I like how you can always tell where a power-up is. It's the exact same configuration every single time.
I just want to be as invincible as long as possible. One of these?
So I have no power-ups.
None of these.
Nope. It's only if you see 3 sitting by themselves.
Okay, so I can confirm there is more than one, quote, new Giana Sisters game. There was a Giana Sisters Dream Runners that came out in 2015 that was not liked, apparently. But Yeah, Twisted Dreams is like the proper kind of
brutal
reboot
timing.
that they've
Got
re-released
it
on
again.
everything.
Yeah, and I did not much care for Twisted Dreams when I played
So I
it.
forgot there was a DS game.
It felt a lot like that Bubsy reboot because it's
Not
made
the
by
most
same
recent one. You
people.
got to be clear about
Yeah,
that. It's
the
not the
most
most
recent
Endless
one.
Runner one. Yeah.
No, not an Endless Runner one either. The I'm
The
talking about
Willies.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Willy
know.
Strike Back.
Yeah,
not Bubsy 4D. No,
yeah.
but yeah, they're made by the same people. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that is why they felt like the same.
I thought Willy Strike Back was an Endless Runner. No, I guess I'm wrong about that.
Yeah,
Wasn't
no,
there a
no, it's
Bubsy
not.
Endless Runner?
It might have
Probably.
been. It wouldn't surprise me. That is such a. I said it before, but that is such a fucked pattern for the Thromps to have that really slow acceleration at the start and then go whoop.
Yeah.
I got to be more patient. I keep trying to like get this show on the road, and it means we always waste more time.
Yeah, and a lot of low ceilings, a lot of bonking your head in this area.
Slime says, wasn't Bubsy Endless Runner that band that made Come On Eileen? Shut the fuck up.
I like that.
Slime responsible for showing me the video of Dexy's Midnight Runners playing Come On Eileen live. That is on the official Dexy's Midnight Runners YouTube channel, and it is the greatest awful live performance of any song ever.
Yeah, no, their vocalist was having a bad day.
He had a bad life. The dude couldn't sing.
I've heard him live. He can sing better than that.
I'm trying to remember what that like. There was one concert. I think it was The Doors. That the concert was so bad that there was like a lawsuit over it.
I didn't know that. I know the Doors got arrested in a concert, but that was local, mayors and shit being assholes. There's funny footage of. I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm gonna say the wrestler, aren't I? Is Jim Morrison the real one? Or the
Van
wrestler?
Morrison's the real one.
From the Doors?
Oh, wait, no. Shit.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound right at all.
It sounds better than fucking
James Morrison, John Morrison, Jam Morrison.
Could someone
I'll get it
read
eventually.
the comment from Clip the Jester, by the way, please?
Yes, I will read from Clip the Jester. Clip Jester. Well, I want to, but my... There we go. So part of the reason the audio... Oh, wait, we read that one already. Here we go. So my scroll wheel was broke. So Clip the Jester says, so this weirdly jovial castle stage background music also appears in slightly different... Charkie, can you read it for me?
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Something's broken on my end. My scrolling's not working. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and fix it.
So this weirdly jovial castle stage background music also appears in slightly different form in two Korean-made arcade games that came out around 91-92. Commad's Super Duck and Endamiro / Oxen's Pass. I assume they're all riffing on either a song that was popular in Korea at the time or some stock music track, but I don't think anybody has identified.
Thank you.
Yeah, I figured it would have been in other stuff. Because it didn't sound specific to the visuals. Maybe that was partly an attempt of getting further away from the legality issues of it. And yeah, sorry about the scrolling stuff. I've refreshed the page and fixed it for some reason.
I think I got stuck on the wall there. I think I jumped into the wall and then jumped off of the wall briefly because I didn't trigger the falling platform. I do want to get that, though.
And yeah, Magic Mouse in chat confirmed Jim Morrison is the musician. John Morrison is the wrestler.
Ah, so I
Okay.
fucked up.
Johnny Nitro, a.k.a. Johnny Impact, a.k.a. Johnny TV. Because he keeps renaming himself.
I want to keep the fireball. I want to just get this as efficiently and quickly as possible. We have 12 lives to
I think
live.
it was Johnny Mundo at some point as well.
Yeah, that was for Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
This song.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. There's text on screen here.
There is.
I think they're doing a little
Lil.
And then
Now this
you read it
sounds like
backwards.
bootleg. Yeah.
Ooh.
Now this does sound like bootleg Mario music. Like not a specific song, but just. Oh yeah, this could be a song in a.
Oh,
it's
this
very-
is where all the Tetris pieces live before they fall.
Yeah.
No, there's a lullaby that has this. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
God, it's. This is like the hard levels from Superboy again. The ones that replace the swimming levels. Requires absolute mastery over these impeccable controls. Also, I like how they're breaking the tile rules here. They have things that are like misaligned, that are on like, the halfway points between tiles.
A lot of coins.
Ugh,
Not worth it.
I got greedy.
Yeah, I could believe this is a nursery rhyme. I just don't recognize the melody exactly. Oh, look
Like
at
the
that,
main
flying
bit of
Koopas.
I'm picking up is just the do 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 do, and I'm just not like
Yeah, the
focusing
waltz.
on the main melody.
Yeah. But I feel like it was chosen because a lot of Mario games we use kind of waltz time music for like underwater stage or sky stages in this era.
Virtual Boy Koopas.
Yeah.
That's why I stacked 3 invincibilities on top. This stage is like they're just giving you everything.
Yeah.
They gave you 3 question mark blocks in a row so you can get up to.
That means there's a boss fight coming up. There he is.
Hey.
What a fight.
If I were making a video game, like let's say I was making a third-person shooter, and you know that thing where like right before you get to a boss fight or a big arena fight, they'll have some like ammo laying out or some health.
Yeah,
And
a
then,
boss
like, if
fountain.
you get up-
Yeah.
If you get up real close to like a big boss fight, there'll be like, maybe more health than usual and more ammo than usual. I would make a level where there's like just a non-stop stream of weapons and ammo and health, just so much to see if I could like make people have panic attacks before anything even happens. Like, oh god, they're giving me too much. How hard is this gonna be?
There's a good fake out bit in Eternal Sonata. Eternal Darkness, not Eternal Sonata.
Same game, basically.
Basically, yeah. But where you get a insanity effect where there's just piles of ammo in a row.
It's these blocks, by the way, from Super
Yeah,
Mario.
I
World?
was gonna say, yeah, it's cool they managed to
Yeah.
make them work in this.
Kinda. They seem to not be holding position.
I'm working more than I would have thought. It would have worked.
So I'm taking it this game is 12 stages long. Or is it
I'll see.
16? Because I do want to play Superboy 4. I just don't want to play it in full because I think that one's like a proper hour-and-a-half long adventure.
Okay, you're about
Uh,
2/3 of the way through. I'll give you that.
I think the song that we were pontificating on earlier, Clip the Jester says, this is a loose rendition of the 1888 song Sobre las Olas, or Over the Waves, or more commonly known as cartoon flying music.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like lullaby music, but...
Finally made it, friends.
Well, thank you, Sir Lar, for the raid. Don't mind us, we're just playing Super Mario Brothers. 3, World, whichever one you want it to be. Whichever one you imagine it being is what it is. I don't know who this LL is that keeps getting shouted out in the blocks in the sky here, but one of the developers must have really loved them. Or just loved the letter L in general.
Let's go find out how many stages there are.
Oh.
The last stage is called Last Round, so...
Oh, don't worry, I can go to the left. It's fun to make people worry, though, about the game,
Okay.
about getting completely stuck.
I think there's 16.
Ooh. Again, the platforms
I
are
have no idea
supposed to
what
move you, are supposed to be people movers in some capacity, but sometimes they don't. It's
Oh,
inconsistent.
these ones actually do move you though, compared to the
compared to the
I
ones
think
that were
the
earlier
ones-
the ones that fell diagonally for some reason.
Yeah. I think the ones that are supposed to be like falling platforms do not move you, and the ones that are specifically moving platforms move you, which makes me think that like it's applying the same logic of a stationary platform to the ones that are stationary until they start moving. They don't update to be like, oh, now it's moving, so you should too.
Oh, I forgot to jump there. That's a Sunmei. Let me up. Let me at him.
I'm guessing the way the item logic works, if you weren't powered up, those invincibility, what would be the stars would have been mushrooms, right? That's
Yes.
how this
Yes.
works. Okay.
It's just progressive power-ups with the highest level is invincible.
Okay.
I kind of like
Yeah,
that.
so-
I mean, it's not good. It's not how Nintendo would do it. It wouldn't make sense in like the context of a real Super Mario Brothers game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for what they're doing here, I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it, I'll take. I'll also
Makes it easier.
take a power down. I'll do this.
You
as
also
small
take a
Mario.
death. Yeah, I'll take two
that's-
deaths, please.
What is going
I'll take
on
three deaths
here?
and a side of Coke.
You're seeing me land on his head, right? Like,
It's.
I think,
he has
you're taking a
long-
hit. You're taking a hit, which makes you somewhat intangible as you come back down, and then you're getting
Yeah.
hit when that ends.
oh, I
Yeah,
died
but
there, even though I didn't have the death sprite, even though it just stayed the static sprite. Cool.
Yeah.
This game's
I think
falling
also his
apart.
blink time. Yeah, his blink time is longer than it looks.
Yeah,
I was
like
trying to figure out why you were getting invincibility power-ups in just platforming areas with no enemies, but yeah, it's just not placed like that.
in the MSX version, you could like double jump off of the boss or just keep bouncing on them. In this one, you can't.
Is that the case?
Yeah, because in the first one, I started
Oh.
bouncing off them a couple times. And
Oh, you mean the MSX version of like Superboy, rather than the original Superboy game?
Yeah, yeah.
Superboy 1 and 2 versus Superboy 3, which we're playing right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. Remember the version of Superboy 3 we were playing before we switched to the Master System?
Okay, so you could do that in the strange.
Yeah. You could bounce off of them multiple times in that one, but not in this one.
Oh, these bullet
It might be
bills are
more-
disorienting. Seeing these
It
things
might be
scroll.
more. Yeah. It might be more timing based because I feel like I did do it once. Also, yeah, I was hoping those would be the little springy fins, but no, they don't. There's no way that was gonna work.
Fuck
Seems like they've
springs.
also
my
changed-
Mario Brothers take is fuck springs. They suck.
Well, I don't know what you would call them, but they're the sidewards fins that pin you up when you jump on them in World.
The Springies.
Yeah, they're like beans or something. Beads.
Back to Fireflower. They're definitely more generous with the power-ups in this. Believe it or not, turning
Yes.
off the randomly.
Oh!
Can you escape
Well-
my Matrix, Superboy?
They're also
Holy
very
shit.
generous. Very generous with their bullet bills as well.
I love this. I actually. Well, let's solve this. Can I just stand still? And no, because look at that. It jumps me into that. It automatically jumps on top of that bullet bill, thereby forcing me to jump into. This is
And-
wild. What are you supposed to do here? It's
And, and time resumes.
Superman.
I see a Con 462 in chat saying, I don't understand why bootleggers made their own games instead of just pirating the originals. If you'll have to look back at our history section, but that actually goes over how South Korea was pressured in by the US to make
original code after
software.
years of companies, including Zemina, the people who made this game, just stealing games outright and slapping their logo on it.
yeah.
But there's a
Copyright
multitude of
law got
reasons.
tougher,
There's-
yeah.
It depends on the region,
Basically-
depends on the point in time, but we do go over this in the history section at the top of the show.
Basically, copyright in this specific instance extended to code, but not to intellectual property.
Yeah,
so
not
they were basically just making their own
Mhm.
things with the same theming.
as was the
Yeah.
case from 1987 forward, July 1987.
Yeah.
Before that, it
And-
was just a free-for-all. And there was almost a point of national pride in stealing Japanese games
Yeah.
for a moment in time, according to quotes that we read.
Because, yeah, international copyright law already in present day is still quite wild and strange. And yeah, sounds like it was more of a Wild West in the 80s. I just think of, what was it? This was probably about a decade ago now, where Mexico City just said, hey, we're just going to publicly broadcast the final episodes of Dragon Ball Super in the town square. And Toei complained. It's like, well, what are you going to do, Toei? You don't own that series in that country. Like, you're not, well, you're going to declare war on the government? Like, what can you do? They complained, but...
We're so close.
Yeah, funny stuff. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. You had to wait a little.
I don't like waiting, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was some of my downfalls as well. It is cute to see. They are trying loads of little things, though.
Yeah, they are keeping the level design somewhat unique. I mean, not in terms of tile set. It's been basically
but bringing in
the
yeah,
2.5
objects,
but...
though. Yeah.
Ooh. Sticky jump on these. The jumping does not cooperate with...
Oh, the thwomps are stopped not working correctly anymore. When there's too many thwomps on the screen, they don't drop correctly.
I think it's because I'm running. I think I'm fucking with like
Possibly.
the update rate for them, the tick rate.
I think it's a mixture of the running and how many things are on screen at once. I think it's both things combined.
Ooh, I got. Because I can jump underneath that.
Oh, that was a tight one.
Ooh, yeah, no. Let me get a
That has
mushroom.
power up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mushroom or the... That looks like a power from some other game. And I don't know what off the top of my
It
head.
looks like
it
a
looks like
tasty vegetable.
It looks
That's what
kind of like
I'm
a power from
thinking.
Ninja Gaiden.
I wonder if it's... I'm just thinking if it's a Korean vegetable. I wonder if it's pak choi or something.
Oh, this is sickening. The background not scrolling at all.
Yeah. Yeah, more so than the first one, this game has that... Yeah, that treadmill feel. Where, like, you're just running in place and everything's scrolling behind you.
Actually, I say like how the coins say 10, but when you pick them up, you get 1. Yeah, you have,
Yeah, you get
we
1
have
10.
27 dimes right now.
$10 will get you an extra life. Yeah. We're making decent progress. I think we'll be done with this in like the next 5 minutes or so, hopefully.
Yeah, like I said, I think you have 2 more stages.
Ooh, we're back to here.
Yeah. Back to those slopes. Whoop.
Okay, I'm going to pay
Yo,
attention because I'm
let me see
curious if
the
this
game
level
over.
layout is...
Or not the game over, life over. Let me see where it spawns us. Because we have so many lives. I might as well give the game 1.
You said game over, and I was like, you're really going to burn through 20 lives in a row right now just to see what happens?
Oh, this guy speeds up. It's like they have the momentum of sliding down the pipe, except, you know, we can't do that. We don't have the benefit of that.
You know what the background scrolling with the enemies is like? It's like, you know, in like old movies, they would have like a matte painting with a roller.
Yeah, rear
and
projection.
like, turning
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And like, it would just go on. It feels like that, except someone didn't grease up the wheel, so it's just like,
Yeah, no. That's totally... Okay, yeah, they did change the layout. So you can
Ooh,
see
camouflage.
the pieces they're reusing.
Fuck. I want to conserve this mushroom because I really want to get a fire flower because I really want to be able to just project fire flowers rather than deal with...
Go down, go under.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stay down, yeah.
There's your fire flower. Also, there's so many power-ups in this game. If you lose one, you're just gonna find one in like the next 5 seconds.
It's these enemies, the tempo, the speed of the black dragons here definitely messes with me. Oh, doom on me. There we go. Power of Pepsi. Again, South Korean flag. I know.
Yeah.
I need to look up the Pepsi logo real quick.
Oh, it's this thing again. Remember the problem you were having before where you kept, like, jumping on top of these and it fucked you up?
Yeah.
We're having a repeat of that, and we can't hit him with fireballs, so...
I feel like, yeah, you just need to wait for them.
Because there is a
Yeah.
finite number of them.
Still mean.
Oh, I thought this was a whole solid wall because the way I bounced off of it at first. This is where the graphics being as lackluster as they are is legitimately getting in the way of readability, of me being able to parse what I'm experiencing, of what I'm meant to do in any given situation. Oh, look at this fucking guy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One of the heavy, I don't know what these guys are actually called. The Big Hammer Bros. What's he called? I'm looking up.
Hammer Father. Last round.
Sledge Bro. There we go.
Well, duh. Okay.
We haven't really had an opportunity, but I wonder if in this tile set you can run on top of the ceiling. If you could, in theory, get
No, there's nothing there. Oh!
Oh, wait, that's it? Wait,
Yeah,
this is it? The penultimate boss was like a new sprite, and then the final boss is just, this guy again.
No, I don't think this is just it.
Oh, boss
Yeah.
rush. Okay.
Yeah, all those unique bosses we've experienced so far. Back for one last hoorah.
Yeah, this, honestly, when I was looking through the long play, I was a bit confused. Because I kept running into bits that looked like the level ending, and then there was more afterwards. So I was like, "Wait,
This is tricky because they only bounce off the edges of the screen, not off of like objects, in the way that you would expect a Mario game to operate. The rules of the game.
And you can't.
Y'all a fan of
that's
boss
a lot of them.
rushes in games?
No, I think it's cheap. I think
Johnny?
it's a cheap tactic.
It depends.
Oh, I can jump
I
on these
definitely-
fucking things? I can jump on the fireball since fucking when?
I wonder if it's the weird thing where it only registers if you press the jump button. You jump on top. Yeah, I some games I like it more than others. Like I don't really like it in Mega Man. For some
Now
reason.
I can't.
Well,
I
no,
definitely don't like it
you're
in Devil May
So-
Cry 4.
You're hitting the ground before you land on the thing there. So in each one of those cases, you were just standing flat-footed.
No, it's just they changed the rule.
Okay, yeah, or they changed the rules. So I'm inclined to believe
think-
you on that.
Yeah. I think personally I like boss rushes where the bosses have a different, like something's changed about them as well. Like
There's
they'll
a
get like a
sadness
new
about them.
attack.
The sort of defeated attitude about them. Ooh,
But, you know, yeah, as a bonus mode, as a
the
Ulrich
hitboxes are
isn't
so
there.
fucked here. Jesus.
They are. Oh, you just noticed that.
And also, jumping on these sucks too. Yeah, I knew it was gonna sink all the way in. They chose the last level to be assholes with their design. Okay. Oh! Huh?
Ooh, I think
Like
you
I-
clipped into it and died as a result. You might have got warped like straight down or something.
Warp directly to hell.
All right, this is the other boss.
Right.
You fight each of like the 15 different individual guys like this you killed. Now, I have maybe a contrasting opinion on boss rushes. The thing I don't like in a boss rush is when they bring back a boss, but they make it artificially weaker than the first time. Because I feel kind of cheated.
That's the
out
only
of it.
way I
feel-
like it, because it makes
Yeah,
you feel
that's-
like you've powered up, that you've come a long
Yeah.
way.
I think
Okay.
that if you're gonna do it, it should be like legitimate, where like you actually are that much more powerful that you can just like plow through them rather than like artificially tanking their health and stuff. Exception to that, Pizza Tower, because at the end of the game when you get so pissed that you just destroy every
look at
boss.
this.
That's cool. Yep, right there.
Yeah, scroll this tile to spawn the boss, and immediately a fireball. That
Once
is
you,
so
like,
fucking
up.
rude.
Do you like the kind of hacky way though that they've transitioned to being outside the castle area?
Yeah, it
Is
was
the
pretty
background
smooth. Let me see the
solid?
checkpoint on this. Oh, there ain't none. It's back to
Nah.
the beginning, which is why
I
we've
mean,
been
there's no
rewinding the
checkpoint.
entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no checkpoint flag, so
Yeah, so we're just gonna cheat. Hope you don't mind, folks. We've been cheating this whole time, but, you know. That's the last round, then. Now the round is clear.
Yippee!
Face already says this must feel so miserable to be without saves coming.
I thought, even though this is scripted, I thought he was going to fall between the gap there.
Yeah.
No, don't stare into the Hypno Crown, Mario.
The end.
The end, written on a old Band-Aid.
Wow, she's beautiful.
Hey!
It's a graphic.
Oh, that's some Ben Drown shit on the right there.
I don't like that they've made Mario Superboy the exact same height but different proportions as the princess. It's something a bit weird about that.
They come from different worlds.
You know that experiment with the monkeys with the cloth mom and the wireframe mom?
What? Sorry, what?
What?
I'm just saying Mario's falling in love for the wireframe mom here.
I assume like a puppet, you mean, right? Oh.
Yes, they had monkey babies and they had like a cloth mother surrogate and a wire mother surrogate.
Let me hit the
and-
screen.
I think some psychology classes, jeez.
I think I played a Souls-like as a boff called the Cloth Mother.
Well, that's Superboy 3. I'm assuming, yeah, we just, you can linger here forever, take a photo,
Take
get
your
a
photo.
Polaroid,
Yep.
it'll last longer. Enjoy the sweet music on loop. Well, glad we got a proper ending out of that one. So, all those games that we've played so far came out they were designed for the MSX specifically, thus far in the show. But in the year 1990, hold on, my launch box is crashing. I believe this is a 1992 release as well. I can't bring it up because things are crashing and burning. Again, love the latest Windows updates. Love how great they've made running software on my computer. I'll just show this. How about this? This is an ad for the Game Boy, which was not a Game Boy clone, but was, in fact, a bespoke Master System clone released for the South Korean market by Samsung. Yes, that's Samsung. And so this was like the next step forward, basically, in their console hardware, which is to say, still very much the same as the previous generation, because people were still putting out like MSX grade, MSX quality games for this system with the SG-1000 compatibility mode. But it's at this point, with Zemina having re-released all those Superboy games for the Master System in their capacity as MSX conversions, for this last Superboy game we're going to play, this was developed specifically for the Game Boy and for Master System clones. So we're getting a leap in the hardware at this point. We are getting a jump, a leap forward, a hop and a skip forward in graphical fidelity and quality and so forth, with 1992's release of Superboy 4. It's the same goddamn cover as Superboy 3. That's the subtitle for the game.
Hey.
Yeah, we're recycling the graphic, which I guess this would have been the first time people who did not have the MSX line, who were not playing the MSX games, this would have been the first time they were seeing it, I suppose, this cover art. So it's new to them, maybe? Probably not. This is the last of the Superboy games. This is really the last of the Zemina games, period, because at around this time, as we mentioned, the company that had bought them out, the owners of them, if I can have just a second here, I can find the name of said company. Yeah, okay, I guess I don't have it on me. Oh, Seihan Sangsa, who had purchased and taken Zemina public in like 1989, 1990. By 1992, collapsed. But Zemina all their programmers left to form the studio open, where they continued their developing. But I think there's still a Zemina game store active. I think there were still Zemina locations, brick and mortar Zemina stores that still continue to sell like product. And so this would have been sold exclusively for Game Boy and Master System clones, Master System derivatives, starting in 1992. There's speculation in the Hardcore Gaming 101 series of articles that it is not known whether it was a belated release of a leftover completed earlier or an outsourced job, whether this was the Zemina original team who developed this. I'd speculate it probably is. We'll get into it. We will launch it and sample at least a little bit of it. But this one, in its capacity, is more of a bridge between 3 and World. I'll spoil that it's further in that sort of like line of thinking, that this does have an overworld. This is the most fully featured of the games.
Yippee. I will say, I noticed now that we went through the entire Superboy 3, most of the enemy bad guys on the cover art were not in the game. There were bombs, there was a chicken, a fish with wings. We didn't see any of that.
And here is the Superboy.
There he is.
Let me balance this audio. There we go.
They really don't give you a lot of time for these. Oh, that's crunchy.
It is, yeah.
Hidden block. So they're telling you straight away that, okay, this is going to be a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, this is a very big step up.
Ah, you got the H.
Salt pip. I got the salt shaker.
Yeah.
What every growing boy needs. Huh?
You got the bottled human growth hormone.
Oh, and now we've got cherries.
Okay, let me cheat this a little bit. Let me see. Can I come out from under that? The momentum in this is wretched. I don't think that's anything. I think that's just decorative because I can't interact with it in any capacity.
Might just be there, yeah.
So, we've changed the Mario sprite, but we're still using all these Super Mario World graphics. Still can't crouch, by the way.
Yeah. Maybe that's just wasn't okay in Korean society at the time.
All right,
That's too much like those Japanese
give me a
delinquents.
hand.
I wonder if that's supposed to be a baseball glove.
Fuck.
Do they play? Is there a baseball scene in South Korea? No idea.
And we're black.
Kind of surprised.
Guess you are, yeah.
I'm honestly kind of surprised this game lets you scroll backwards and remembers that there were things on screen backwards.
Yeah, that's
and look
cool.
at the fireballs now. They're like back to the way they
anymore.
were in Superboy 1 and 2.
Real sharp angle of attack.
Ooh, and the jumping is... I'm going to let one of you play this, and you can try to articulate the fucking jumping in this.
Alright. Oh, get that.
After I collect this one-up. Or not one-up,
No.
star, I mean.
Ability, yeah. No longer a South Korean flag. Or emblem.
All right, so one of you take over.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Oh, Charkie's got it.
I guess this doesn't have an overworld in it.
Oh, I don't have controls.
Oh,
me
yep,
see if
I know
do.
what that's about. Yeah. I'm confusing this with Super Bioman 4, is what I'm doing. Super Bioman 4, not by Zemina, has the proper overworld. I do remember this game is still fairly long, though. Look it up for me, confirm for me.
Yep.
Oh,
So-
I don't have Fire Flower anymore.
No, when you collect the star, it takes away your fire flower.
Cass, the long play for this is shorter than the third game.
I guess I was thinking Super Bioman 4 the entire time, which just goes to show like how confused this whole thing is. Can we beat
Yeah.
this? Do we think you can beat this? Do we think we can clear this? And how long is the long play?
The long play is 25 minutes. I'm trying to see how many levels there are.
The game almost feels like you're on a grid.
It feels so much worse than the previous
Yeah.
game we just played. That's ultimately what I was going to get across, is that this feels awful.
Because you just keep fucking going. And not in a way that feels like momentum. It feels like you're
Jump
trying to
over the
hit your
pipes.
mark.
Jump over the pipes. I don't know
You
what
see
that
that
is.
right there? Do you see those four? That's what's blocking me. But yeah, you can just jump over the pipes.
Hey! Nice.
This game is absolutely lawless. I wouldn't be shocked if Zemina made this.
Ugh.
Have a go.
Yeah, you try it. Yeah, when you're moving, like, and you stop moving, he just keeps going. It feels like he is trying to, like, hit a mark or something. It's like, and I need to stop right here. Not where you told me to stop, up here.
Oh yeah, I don't like how this controls at all. It's really weird low momentum.
It feels like more accurate to just jump and land and not hit anything than to try and maneuver yourself.
Yeah, like, I've let go of the control stick, and if you don't let go of the arrow early, he walks for a while.
Like, I kind of almost want to play this, like, you know, Sesame Street Countdown? And when you're playing as, like, the Count, you have run mode and you have hop mode. Like, it feels better to play this game as if you were doing hop mode.
Yeah.
Never try to run, just make very considerate jumps everywhere.
Oh, I've got my preparation H. Yeah, like, the graphical quality, fidelity might have gotten better, but at the sacrifice of game feel.
Is this the worst one?
Ah,
I think so.
Is this worse than Superboy 1 and 2 to play?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me fucking take over.
Not
Not that I'm much better, because the jump button is just not working sometimes.
I'm not kidding. I was physically cringing. Not the way people normally like say cringe. I mean, like, I was tensing.
Invisible
my hands
wall.
were like posing into like weird tree-like branch. Oh, I was so uncomfortable playing that.
Maho de Insa says, seems to control like cheesy for PS1 if you know that game. I get the comparison you're making. Mechanically, I see where you're coming from. I somewhat disagree, but I see why you would say that. You're not entirely off putting it that way. It does feel like uniquely bad, though.
Yeah, this is definitely one people, if they get the chance, should try for themselves.
What this feels like is, like, what I remember, and this is going to be very, like, specific, but I remember downloading off of, like, Kazaa or Morpheus, where, you know, like, old file sharing, and people's, like, Mario fan games, remakes of Mario, right? Like, made, like, for DOS, that would run on Windows. That's what this feels like. Ugh.
Yeah, no, you have to react seconds earlier than you normally would.
Fireball is fucking worthless.
No, you're off screen, so it ate it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even travel that far either.
There we
Whee!
go. Yeah, and don't think that you can go through the pipe here, by the way. Still can't go through pipes in these games. Like, you can never quite figure that out.
I want to believe they're still copying off of the original VHS they worked on with Super Brothers 1. Just getting more and more degraded over time. The fact that they ended up seeing things that looked like Super Mario World sprites was just
Parallel
like a weird
thinking.
coincidence.
Yeah.
That'll just recording over the same VHS tape and just bits of the old recording would bleed through.
Double
look at that.
exposure
Oh,
VHS.
that's fun. I mean, that's
live
a
forever.
outside of when Mega 64 do it. That's a lost art form. Is VHS tapes you re-record over like multiple times, and you just get weird snippets of the previous stuff you recorded come through every so often.
I like how it's the red blocks to end the levels. I mean, I guess it's the gem you get out of the red blocks at the end,
Yeah.
but they were just trying to do shit to differentiate themselves. Be like, this isn't Super Mario World, and you know what? It isn't, but. Notice how the piranha plants leave the pipes at set intervals rather than, reacting dynamically in the way that they theoretically do in Super Mario Bros. Where they, like, taunt you, where they test you. Fuck. Yep. Give me that salt shaker. How many stages is this?
Unfortunately, unlike the previous game, it doesn't say. So let me see if I can figure it out.
Good God. There we go. That was so hard to negotiate out of because the jumping is so wonderful in this.
I think.
Oh,
Yes,
you know
you're
what?
at the end of this tile set at least. I'll tell you that. So if you clear one more, you'll see something different.
Is there any way up there? I guess from the pipe. I guess I gotta jump for the pipe because I want to see what they're setting up there. It looks like they were really impressed with themselves.
Maybe that was aspirational. Maybe it was that we had this cool idea, but we didn't know how to program it, so you get to see it.
I'll tell you, the long play doesn't go up there.
Fuck.
I think they're just taunting you with the idea of more mechanics that don't exist in the game.
What a fucking tease. Oh, that's the end of the level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing the popcorn-looking stuff. The bricks that break.
This might be the worst of the night.
It definitely is.
Yeah, you're about third way through again. So it's also structured very similar to the third game.
Ooh, I slid right off of that. Look at these new enemies, though. We have dry bones. We have for this
beetles.
Yep.
Oh wow, they for a second.
This is
Fuzzy beetles don't work right.
Can't jump on that.
It's funny how often the little bits they get wrong seem to make the games harder than they need to be.
It's never an error in your favor.
The original game had errors in your favor, like the double jump.
Yes. But this one, not so much.
Yeah.
Oh, fireballs work to take enemies out, though, permanently. Including these, which they shouldn't work on. Fireballs should not work on Buzzy Beetles, but...
The problem with the fireball is the angle is so steep. Like, you have to be in getting hurt range to hit someone with it.
But it is super effective, so... It's like in Super Mario Land, right? Like where it does project directly in front of you and then just bounces up and just keeps going up until it hits something. How it's all just ricochet in that.
Yeah, the Super Ball power-up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I kind of want to see
beast level
Nintendo
here.
get into the weirdness of the Mario Land games again. It's just, yeah, no, you don't get any of the typical enemies. The power-ups don't work how you expect. It's just
work?
a shoot-'em-up stage out of nowhere.
Can I fireball them? That's the question. Yes, I can, but it's tricky because, again, this game controls like a dumpster. God, yeah, I realize that, jumping on that's not going to help me any because it'll just turn back into a sentient enemy the second I touch down, so I really do need... Oh, let's do invincibility. Why not?
Yeah. So I feel like we are seeing just straight-up sprite ripping here, if not...
Fuck.
essentially sprite ripping, if they were just hand-by-hand recreating the pixels.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had to do a lot of that recently. I'm working on a new pre-show animation for the show, and part of that I've had to just copy from an image. I've just had to eyeball it and be like, well, I know this is skewed and whatnot, but I estimate this would be 1 pixel in, if it were 1-to-1, if it wasn't a distorted image. And I feel like I've gotten pretty fucking close.
Yeah, some of these sprites look like, oh no, that's just the actual sprite from Mario World.
I mean, granted, they'd have to change the color palette on it. They can
I
match
was gonna
proportions,
say, yeah.
But yeah.
And yeah, even these things.
I want to see if I can fireball the fireballs. Yes, you can. utterly fucking lawless, this
yeah.
game. God, the
Too
momentum
much of-
is killer.
Too much of a good thing for him.
Yeah, and you can't do the Superboy 1 trick where you turn in the air, so when you land, you just come to a dead stop.
I think when you're running forward and spamming Fireball, you just literally shoot straight down.
That could very well be the case. Again, it is difficult to convey just how badly this controls. Play it for yourself, folks. Don't feel bad about pirating this, I would say. I don't think there was ever any...
I think it is by default pirating.
I think the only way to play this is to pirate it. I know I'm going to lose the Fire Flower again, but it's so nice to have a few seconds of invincibility where I can just... Ugh.
I mean, the invincibility does not matter here at all.
No, it really doesn't. Oh my god. You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just abandon it.
Yep.
Wait, while you're here not doing anything, just run along the ground and start firing. Whoa!
What?
Okay,
That's a hole?
that's a hole.
Guess that's
All
a
right,
hole.
never mind. Stop running on the ground.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, there's definitely frames there where you're just firing directly downwards.
Fuck that, I guess I'm not getting that. Probably for the best. Oh, but now I'm...
Hey,
powered
you
down
bounced off a
again.
ghost. That was
Yep.
weird.
Is there going to be a power up there? Yes. I'm just changing my approach to this. I'm being a little bit more laissez-faire about just using the mushrooms to tank hits and not
Yeah.
worrying so much about
Yeah, they give-
maintaining.
They give you enough.
Yeah, I get the feeling. I didn't count it for myself, but considering how similar the structure is, I bet this is also 16 stages.
Hey, it's a formula. It's a winning formula. Why fix it? Why change it?
Because, yeah, it has the same gimmick of, the tile set changes every, 4 times throughout the game.
Okay, so I need
Look
to
at that,
wait.
though. They're trying to do all the stages this time.
I
Oh.
don't know if this counts.
Yeah, I was going to say. Hey, we got a fish at least.
Also, the game is chugging at
Yeah.
intervals during this. Oof. Oof. The momentum. Quick stage, easy stage, that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just really fucking good. Maybe I'm just a pro gamer after all.
The music's going fast here.
Now we're underwater, and it just slows the game down. That's all it does.
Yep.
I think it's supposed to be a waterfall, is I think what they were going for there,
Yeah.
but...
Now, you see, if you had a CRT, this effect
would be beautiful. This game would be incredible, actually.
Yes, this
Yeah.
would actually look like a PS5 game on a CRT.
Yeah.
No, if you load it on a CRT, you're like, is this Mario Brothers? This looks exactly like Mario Brothers. This looks exactly like Mario Worlds. It's indistinguishable.
I had a really tiny CRT at one point in my life. I mean, as like one of those travel TVs. So it was like a 1.5 or 2 inch screen or whatever. And I did plug my PlayStation 2 in it to play Shadow of the Colossus.
Wait, it was meant to be played.
It was also in black and white, so the only true way to play that game.
Yeah. I do want to get some really tiny CRTs at some point. I haven't looked into getting any new CRTs in a while. Need someone for cars, the whole problem. What? Yoshi?
Kinda.
What have they done to you?
No, those are definitely Koopa.
Well, yeah, they're like
Troopas.
half, but they've put the Yoshi color scheme on them though.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
fuck it, just-
Yeah, go through the fucking ceiling. Mandatorily.
Khan asks, what does the H on the power-up bottle stand for? That's for y'all to decide.
yeah.
What are these?
Okay, interesting obstacle. It's like old-timey candy.
Yeah, I was
in a
thinking like hard
wrapper.
candies, yeah.
Oh, the wings of the wrapper part. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
see it now. I was just assuming it's cannonballs with wings.
You know what's a good old-timey hard candy? Is those little strawberry things that are wrapped up looking like strawberries.
Yeah, they're better than the
Yeah,
Werther's
yeah.
originals, that's for goddamn sure.
I do like a Werther's original, but no, the strawberry thing is better.
I lost count of what stage we're on, because they don't give you the
Oh,
stage
I
number
have no
reminders.
They don't in this one, yeah. I think you're either on the third or the fourth of this tile set.
Is this the final
look
tile
at these
set?
squiddy boys. No, there's one more.
Okay.
The
I
music
feel like
here
that
is
one-up was a
menacing.
trap.
Or it was for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. Dun, 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 dun.
But then it
Yeah, like
transitions to like
swaps.
the happy music again.
Yeah, it swaps from major to minor scale halfway through. Major minus majestic march.
You can
Oh god, we might have
see
to play that one day.
like
Oh.
how bad the momentum and the hit detection and the fireball trajectory are as the game slows down, as if to highlight it for our purposes.
Mhm.
As I'm trying to just knock these enemies out the box.
Do-do-do-do.
Are we gonna beat 4 games in one night? I believe we are. If only we had committed to beating Brother Adventure, the Mario Bros. Clone. I don't know if that one
Does
actually
that have like
ends.
an ending?
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Angry mushrooms. You know, they don't
don't
use
like-
mushrooms as power-ups in this game, so I guess they have
Yeah.
to find some other way to
Yeah.
repurpose that sprite.
Don't like the music here.
Oh, we're getting some weird enemies on this level.
Oh,
Like
I actually
ski
did
mask
make
wearing
that.
birds.
I assumed I wasn't going to make that, so I rewound too early. I need to have more confidence in myself. This is like panic music. This is
Yeah,
anxiety
spot-
Mario.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mario
but-
boss music for just the stage.
Alright, the thing I was calling ski mask wearing birds was just spiders. I can see that now.
That's my contribution to that song, is putting a fart noise at the end of it. Just like Fart Car, the classic South Korean arcade cabinet.
Gas, gas, gas.
Takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're copying the Super Mario World level. What?
Huh?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I see it in the layout.
What is...
It's one of those
Snake.
dragon things. They can roll up into balls like Sonic, I guess, now. They decided that's a thing they
They
can
can-
do.
They can roll up into balls now? They can roll up into balls now.
Is there any way to get this?
You
can't
have to jump
sprint.
off an enemy.
Oh, you know what it is? I got it. I mean, I can theoretically get it if the jumping cooperates, which is a big fucking ask.
There you go, yeah. Now lose
Fuck.
it. Thanks.
Because I'm hoping that they give me another one right here in the center. Yeah. Actually, no, let me take the damage, see if it still gives me the... Nope, no, it actually operates under the correct rules now.
Oh, such advancements.
Again, errors never in our favor.
Yeah, that's funny. Like a green demon run.
Ugh. I have to realize that the parachutes are part of the hurt box. Look at these jittery little bastards.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized what... Okay.
Huh?
It just fell
What?
through into a hitbox.
Yeah, with how fast it's moving, that seemed very easy to do.
Give me that power up before I finish the stage. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no, I know the struggle. I can feel it.
There's nothing harder in this game than just hitting the box above your fucking head. That is somehow the most difficult thing in this game. I can navigate the elaborate mazes and labyrinths of, like, you know, jumping and weaving your way through fireballs. I got that figured out well enough. But God forbid I need to get a question mark box. I need to get a mushroom out.
I still can't believe Superboy 1 had the maze level mechanic and Bowser's Castle actually work.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, little buffly.
Aye, aye, aye.
I tell you, this is going to be an easy best and worst of the night for me when we get to it.
I'm thinking about the best still. I'm a little torn on that. Can I do anything here? All right, I can go back this way. I thought these trees were going to be hindrances, obstacles at all. Oh, no. This is a dead end. What am I supposed to fucking do?
All right.
Well, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I get it.
Yeah, they definitely, if you go off screen, they'll respawn enemies when you come back.
It's that, but... There we go.
It's not, but this song has little motifs that remind me of the opening song from Cave Story. I keep thinking it's the Cave Story music. But surely not.
I can hear it. Having never played Cave Story, I can still tell what what song you're thinking of.
Edward asks, what did the cherries do?
You collect enough of them, they give you a 1-up.
Yeah. Again, I think it's them mimicking the dragon coins, from Mario World. Which is what they're called. The Yoshi
it's a
coins.
Bomb-Bomb.
They're actually dragon coins. Yeah. Kinda. It's funny because the box art was apparently for the third game, but more of the enemies shown on the box art are in this one than they were in 3.
That makes me
what
wonder.
If 3 was like a prototype for 4, and they just like went way backwards somehow.
A repackage where they just reused the 4 art.
I mean, there is the speculation that this was not developed by Zemina, that it was just put out in Zemina stores, that this was developed by some different team, maybe developed in parallel, or like as super...
If they were definitely...
developed by Tosei.
They were definitely reusing stuff, I think. Just the fact that the structure is so similar. It's like, yeah, 4 stages in each tile set. Even the way, like, the top card works. This round clear bit. Yeah, I think this is the final.
Oh, look at him.
Look at him.
Wart's back, baby. And he's been hitting the gym. He slimmed real fast.
I love Punch Forever. I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh, so that's how they let you know this is the boss fight. No, you're not going anywhere. Oh, these boxes are going to be a pain in the ass, though. I see why they put them there. Because they were dickheads.
Oh, poor guy. I was rooting for him.
Another boss? Yeah, oh, he shoots.
The land of the giants. I'm assuming they're not going to give me any power-ups here. I'm assuming that these are...
It's like Sonic 2.
Oh, that's it. Just the 2.
I was hoping he was going to cut to gray and just stay there forever. What do we think? I'm thinking loop back to the start. Oh, no!
That's about as fast as the game moves. That's about as fast as he moved in game, yeah.
Does he have a black eye?
Whoa.
What's going on with him?
Think of speed.
Oh.
I love
Clown?
you, Superboy.
See, she read as wearing like clown makeup to me.
Oh,
It's
no.
Queen Elizabeth. Or Queen Mary. Which one painted her face all white?
I mean, you know what? The rake cleans up nicely, apparently.
I like Louis Pissy said juggalo peach in chat. That's the one. Yep, Queen Juggalo.
Good God. Well, that's Superboy
Russian
4.
sleep experiment, Peach.
Does anything happen after this? Does not appear to.
No.
Inputs do nothing. Again, snap that Polaroid. And, Hoo boy. That will do it for Superboy 4. Again, 4 games in one night. That's got to be a Bad Game Hall of Fame record of some sort, I think. Speaking of records, it's time that we record our final scores for best and worst of the night. Starting with Charkie, what is your pick for best of the night between Brother Adventure, Superboy 1, Superboy 2, Superboy 3, Superboy 4?
I'm going with Superboy 1. Somehow the controls got worse as time went on. Superboy 1 has the advantage of borrowing very heavily from the original Super Mario designs, which were better made stages. The further they kind of went with their own thing, the worse it got in general.
Yeah, stop being inspired, assholes. Be more shameless.
I mean, just if we're talking about it as a game, if we're talking about, like, I'm not talking about these as, not as a statement of artistry or anything like that. I'm saying, like, if we're playing them as a game, like, yeah, if you stick as close as you can to what Nintendo did, it's probably going to be one of the best ones. One might say that makes Brother Adventure, whatever that first one was, like, the best one, because that was, like, real close, except for how the enemies reacted when you hit them. But for my money, I always kind of prefer Super Mario over a regular Mario Brothers. There was some fun. I had a little bit of fun playing Superboy rather. And Sorry Nothing, right?
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's an incredible line. Yeah.
Go Next Stage does not hit as hard as Sorry Nothing.
It certainly does not, but having just a complete anticlimax for an ending, just end, is also pretty good in place of that. Maybe not as good as To Be Continued, though. I guess that's the eternal battle. Johnny, where do you weigh in on that? And what's your pick for best of the night?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, none of these control good, but I found that Superboy 1 was the one that I had the most fun controlling because it was so different. It was broken in a fun way. The fact that just it was like moon gravity. It had such amazing air control for a game that was supposed to be Mario 1. The weird tech you could do with stopping, like, on the spot, not sliding and things like that. And yeah, honestly, the further they got with trying to do their own levels or trying to emulate the more complicated Mario platforming mechanics or platform types, the worse
further
they
they
got.
strayed from God's light. Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, the first proper Superboy game that is just 1 through 4 ends up being the best one for it. You could maybe lump 1 and 2 together because they essentially are 2 games split in one, but just the
two
fact
halves
that,
of a whole. Yeah.
yeah, but just the fact that the second game are more original levels and they don't feel as good as the Nintendo originals that they were doing 1-for-1 means that, yeah, I would put the original over it. And yeah, it's
One
just
also
the fun.
has the novelty of them trying to copy Super Mario 1, like, exactly, but not getting it exactly.
Yeah.
So there is the uncanniness to it, even if they're trying to copy it.
Oh,
That
for
is
sure.
interesting.
That's the aspect I ended up enjoying the most from it, because it hit that, like, perfect balance of it's the thing you remember and it's off, but not in a way that was, like, messing with my muscle memory or really awkward to control. It was just, I'm enjoying seeing how weird this is.
Yeah, especially like those the underwater levels, how they interpreted that, where
Yeah.
they didn't have underwater physics.
Yeah, for my pick, I guess I'm going with Superboy 1 as well. I guess for those reasons. And also, I just find it very funny, the idea of someone playing that before playing Super Mario Bros., not having the point of reference, and that being their first exposure to
Dino Gem Award.
a game of this sort, of a platformer of this sort, of that, like, of that ilk. and just like settling for that, the fact that it's half as long, the fact that it's half as good. But like ultimately, like you take what you can get at a moment in time, and especially in the South Korean market at a time where, you know, the genuine article was not widely readily available. It's fascinating to think about that being someone, like, statistically, a lot of people's first exposure to Mario in that region of the world, or a facsimile thereof, and then to find Super Mario Bros. Proper later in life, and to be like, what the fuck? They're ripping off Superboy? I will also say that, like, yeah, I think we get a lot of kitsch, ironic enjoyment out of it in our capacity as Bad Game Hall of Fame, in our capacity as people who have the point of reference, the point of comparison, and just counting the ways in which it is different, read also inferior. But, you know, there's also some genuine degree of, like, there's competence to it. It is competently put together for all its flaws and all the bits that are janky and that don't work. It is, like, as good as they could have done given their own internal limitations. Not necessarily technical limitations, because they could have done better technically, but, you know, it's a solid foundation. If it was, like, someone's attempt at, like, a fan game or, like, you know, like a homebrew sort of thing, we wouldn't be thinking twice about it. We'd be like, oh, it's cool. They brought that to the MSX. They brought this game, they demade it even for this hardware or whatever. And I don't know. It's also just like a testament to how universal Super Mario Brothers is, that you can, like, you know, the fundamentals of it, even when you're missing some of them, even when you're missing stuff like the Koopa shells, like, working in the original game, even when you're missing, like, pipes and some of those things, it's still, like, even when the jumping isn't as good and the running isn't as good, even when it falls short in every category, you know, there's just something about it. I also kind of like the graphics, the 2-bit graphics of it, the single color graphics, or the 2-color graphics that they had to work with. There's something charming about that. I like the visual identity of it as a, you know, a inferior copy of the original product. So I don't know. And again, like those tech screens, there's a lot to love about it. It is the easiest by far of these games to go back to. And it is also still markedly worse than Super Mario Bros. Special in terms of, like, design, in terms of getting it right. But it might be more accessible, it might be easier to play just because of the screen scrolling. It's not smooth as it is. I think there are people who will test, like, a Super Mario Bros. Special on Sharp X1 PC 8801 et al., and just not be able to overcome how sluggishly it runs and how bad the screen transitions are. Whereas this, you know, it may be lacking in features and functionality, but it just plays a million times smoother by point of comparison. So you could really go either way. I think I still lean towards Super Mario Bros. Special for just being so fucking weird with its inclusions and add-ons, but there's a place in my heart for this. There's room in my heart for Superboy both. But there's no room in my heart for our worst of the night, which, Charkie, what is your pick for worst of the night?
Superboy 4. They got worse as they went on. Superboy 3 is broken in some very specific ways that Superboy 4 isn't. But the way Superboy 4 is broken feels way worse. Just the basic act of controlling the character is abysmal. I think that's what it comes down to. Is 4 is just an absolute nightmare to try and control, as far as I'm concerned. And that's the biggest hurdle for a game. If you can't make the game function and do the thing you want it to do, then you're kind of boned.
Yeah. Johnny, what's your pick for worst of the night?
I concur. Superboy 4 was the worst of the bunch. It's funny because visually, it's the one doing the most impressive stuff. It had the smoothest screen scrolling as well, and it maybe arguably, if you boiled it down to, like, technical aspects, the closest to trying to do what Mario, like, movement feels like compared to the earlier ones, but is so much more off and awkward to control that makes it so much worse. I really wish I could describe how uncomfortable it felt to play. But the main thing is just I was physically cringing. My body was tightening. It felt so bad. Just the momentum is so strange.
It's not
like,
a
the way
bad you can get used to
land.
either. It's just so
No.
clumsy as to be completely impenetrable. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel anything like you would expect. It is ironically it is both stiff and slippery at the same time, because it's like on the ground you're very slippery, but then when you're in the air you are very stiff. You don't have that kind of control that even Mario 1 would have had. Actual Mario, Super Mario Bros. 1 would have had in the air. So yeah, no, graphics, the visual fidelity, it's not everything. You can actually ruin the core, and then yes, screw it. The core's broken in this one.
Edward21S put it pretty well in chat, where they said, in screenshots, the fourth one was the best one. In screenshots,
Yes.
taken purely in abstract, if you take photos of it and don't play it, it's the best one.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, having played it, I have to concur. This is a unanimous best and worst tonight.
Whee!
Fucking Superboy 4 was the worst of the night by significant margin. Like, the fact that it's not even close is shocking. How badly it plays. There's no words to articulate or to defend the people responsible for the way that game feels to play. It may have had the benefit of being developed with the Master System in mind, or the Game Boy in particular, but the fact that it feels like a game that was like 10 years earlier in terms of its sophistication, in terms of like how well it controls, in terms of the understanding of like fluidity and momentum and the things that make platformers pop, that give them identity, just the absolute inability to find a good game feel in it. The fact that it's sub Donkey Kong in terms of like jumping and moving, and I'm talking like arcade Donkey Kong, is fucking something. Yeah, not good. But you should play it. But I highly recommend people playing it for themselves, all these games.
Honestly, yeah, all of them I recommend people play, because the controls in every game was in some way like undefinable by speech. It was like, oh, you gotta feel this to know what this is like.
Absolutely. And with all that being said, what I can articulate, what I can state very clearly, is that the show for the night is over, and it is time for us to say, folks, thank you for tuning into this, our Superboy special, the Superboy special super show, if you will. 5 games, 4 of them completed in one night. Like I said, Bad Game Hall of Fame record of some sort, probably. Hot damn. Glad we got to show those off. It took a little while longer to put it together than I would have liked. It was supposed to happen on 8/4 for Bowser Day, but we missed that, and then we missed it again. But glad we have it done here, now, forever. You might, if you enjoyed that program, enjoy some of our upcoming programs, or as many of them as we can read off here, as many as we've planned ahead for. As we look at the stream schedule, Saturday, August 15th, will be a fight night between Charkie and Johnny. Is there any sort of theme to your picks for that fight night?
No theme. Just classic, 2 bad, 1 good each.
Yeah.
Very good. So tune in for these two competitors, these two titans, going up against each other in fight games, keeping track of score, showing off character rosters. A good time had by all, except me, because I won't be there, because I won't be around this Saturday. I will be around Monday for Casual Mondays, the show in which we play not so bad games, shoot the shit a little more casually, so on and so forth. We never know what we're playing on that one till the day of, so you'll just have to tune in and find out, folks. Same goes for Tuesday, funnily enough, August 18th, which we have listed as pending here on the schedule. Have not picked out a game or theme or program at all for that show, for that night as of yet. It's always something on the Bad Game Hall of Fame, so stay tuned. And this coming Thursday, August 20th, we gotta put up a patron poll. We have to figure out what our next patron-voted playthrough will be by putting it to our financial supporters. So we'll try to get that. We'll endeavor to get that up and running, figure that out in the next few days. And we'll tell you how you can vote in that and how you can have a say in that process as we move into the end of show promotional hour. More like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Hey, if you like what you saw here tonight, consider joining our Discord server. That's discord.gg/bghof, a community of connoisseurs. Talk good games, bad games, every game between, things that aren't video games, but we know you're there for the video games. So you might consider joining our Bad Game Club, which is the channel in which the community commiserates over a chosen bad game. We pick out a new one every month. Johnny, what are folk suffering through for this month?
Yes. This month, we are playing Titus the Fox to Marrakesh and back for the Game Boy or Game Boy Color, depending on your fancy. Yes, Titus, prolific video game developer, a bunch of banners, had a mascot, a fox, and he has a Amiga platformer that got a Game Boy version. And yeah, it sounds like a weird one. So come check it out. And yeah, if that's not your fancy, we have a different game. Every month, we like to explore a variety of consoles, genres, platforms, so there'll always be new variety down the line.
Very good. And if you really like what you saw here tonight, you might consider financially supporting the show by subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, becoming a member on YouTube. Any or all of the above will grant you access over on our Discord server to a Patreon Saints channel, where you can vote in polls to help determine our next playthroughs. And we will have one of those up shortly. You can make suggestions to help steer the direction of the show. You can gain access to exclusive content, primarily by way of VODs, primarily by way, at this moment in time, of our Casual Mondays archive, nearing 190, if not nearing 200 hours of exclusive casual content there. We're working on further financial incentives, reasons to support us, further offerings we can make exclusive to all y'all who see fit to. But, you know, there's also just the warm, fuzzy feeling that comes to supporting a show like ours, keeping us in bad games, keeping the Schadenfreude rolling here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We do genuinely appreciate it. We do genuinely appreciate the fact that you like us, you really like us, and help keep the lights on here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. But we also understand that not everyone can financially support us. If you are unable to, there is still a way to support the show that is free. Might we suggest going over to our YouTube channel, finding our suggested viewing playlist that's going to be on the front page of Bad Game Hall of Fame on YouTube.com. And that is 20 handpicked episodes that we think make for some of the best onboarding onto this here show of ours that's fit to share with folk you know who might go for video game stream archives in the 3 to 4 hour range. Or maybe you know someone who's a big fan of Superboy, that this was the franchise they grew up with. They're probably South Korean. In this scenario, in this hypothetical person I'm imagining, who's never heard of Super Mario Bros. Before, but certainly is familiar with the Superboy and the Zemina oeuvre. So they'll enjoy the history at the top of this. They'll enjoy learning about Nintendo. They've been up to some stuff. They've been putting out some games recently, sticking in there. So it'll be good to bring it sort of full circle for them, I think. I think that they would really appreciate that if you happen to know someone who's only familiar with Superboy and not Super Mario Brothers. We leave it to your discretion, dear viewers. Let's see who's streaming at this hour of the night. I'm looking. I'm thinking. I'm stinking. I'm thinking we send folk the way of Cyber Zerker Alpha, who is playing Popeye Ijiwaru Majo Sihag no Maki, which I believe is the Popeye board game party game type game for the Super Nintendo. I remember doing research on this for the Popeye article back in the day, back when we did the Sebek Limited Popeye on Switch. I played every Popeye game in the course of that, so I remember this one actually being pretty good, pretty novel, pretty interesting. So please to give it a look. Let them know the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you. That will do it for us here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. I have been Super Cassidy.
I've been the mysterious power-up shaped like Charkie.
And I've been not a bird, nor a plane, nor Lex Luger. I've been Johnny Baghead.
Very good. We hope to catch all y'all later on down the line. And until next time, bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Toodles!